ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Spawncast episode 229. I have pretty much everyone here tonight, and we have a bunch of good stuff to go over. I also have some super chats. I said I would go back from last week because YouTube just wouldn't let me view them at all. So I'm going to recognize a few here and then also go to Evan for, I think, one or two that was dropped into the Discord there. Let me go around. Let's start with Sean, RGC85. How are we doing over there, Sean?
I'm doing a little tired. My sleep schedule, it's not getting better. I was up till 8 in the morning today. I slept till 11 in the afternoon, so good 3 hours of sleep. I didn't nap today, though, but you might be saying to yourself, RGT, you're always complaining that you're hot. Why are you wearing a sweatshirt? It's summer. Oh, I don't know. Maybe because all this ice around my neck, this Sonic ice around my neck, maybe it's just keeping me cool. Maybe it's just keeping me icy. Don't hate on the Sonic ice, but I do have to take this sweatshirt off.
Jordan, you got any comments there on Sean's necklace?
I need a longer chain for it. This is a chain that it came with, and it's like, I don't know.
That's
it's like
what you wanted to do? That was it?
You're gonna get one of those big chains, like just way too much.
That is pretty ridiculous.
Yeah. I'll be honest, that looks way worse than it looked in the trailer.
It's smaller than I thought. I thought it was gonna be like big and gaudy, and like it's not.
Yeah, it looks like an earring.
Put it up to your webcam. I'm gonna zoom in on this. Here we go. For everyone.
You're at the wear that around at too many games.
Oh God.
For one day. You have to. You have no choice. That and like your Patrick Ewing Knicks jersey or something. Your Patrick Ewing jersey, yeah. Okay. Thanks, Sean. Thank you. We appreciate that.
I'm not gonna be around you. If you're wearing a Patrick Ewing jersey and a Sonic necklace, I'm good. Don't come around me. Don't come around me. Don't come near me. I'm married, but I don't want anti-girlfriend repellent forever. That's just gonna ooze to everybody. My own wife won't like me after you beat her. I can't.
It's full cringe. It goes full circle to become cool again.
Let's go. Right? That's what I wanted.
Let's go to OJ. Player Essence, how you doing tonight?
I'm feeling disgusted after what Sean's done. No, I'm joking. I'm doing okay. Thanks for having me on once again. Shout outs to everybody over there. Spawncast peeps in the chat. How you guys doing today?
We got Miss Click. How are you doing, Click?
Hey, I'm doing great. How are you?
Good to have Click here. Then we have MVG, who released a game.
It did.
Released a game this week.
Maybe have to ban somebody.
Which game is that? Which game is that? Quake.
Available everywhere.
It is available on everything. Like it just shadow dropped. It was on everything, and it's an awesome version of the game.
Yes.
I got every version.
Really good.
I'm serious. I got every version of it. That's not a joke.
Yeah, I picked it up on the Switch and I downloaded it on Game Pass for Xbox because it just dropped right on there to check it out. Crossplay. They got new content in there. It looks awesome too. So
I bought it, but I haven't played it yet. But I bought it just because
it's like back in the 90s over here. It's awesome.
The online's great too because it's cross-platform.
Yep. So you're basically always going to find people.
It's using that Microsoft PlayFab, which is that crossplay thing that they got going on, which is really awesome. Works really well for crossplay.
Just across like all the platforms using Microsoft PlayFab. Interesting, huh? Okay.
Yep, so Microsoft gets their money no matter what.
No matter what, it doesn't matter.
Wow, if you use their online infrastructure.
They're also doing some. I thought about getting on the PlayStation now because they mentioned they're going to do some stuff with the advanced haptic feedback and like the adaptive triggers. It's like, oh, that's strange to think about that stuff being used in like an older game like Quake, and that could be kind of cool.
Well, the HD Rumble's pretty good on the Switch version.
Yeah.
I'll give you guys a sneak peek of the PS5. So the haptics, the way they'll work is so anytime there's a player interaction, like he shoots a weapon or he swings the axe, or he gets hit with something, it'll register haptics on the controller. So you should check it out when it comes out. I'm not sure when it's coming, but it's soon. So check out that version.
And the game's $10, so it's.
I mean, it's a no-brainer. Or if you have Game Pass, just fucking download it.
Just go download it. Yeah.
Can't you just download it? Why do you have to effing download it? God, why are we so aggressive?
Tired, man. I'm excited.
So, congratulations to MVG, though. Awesome to see that. And I assume on to the next project that we'll find out someday. So
next project you'll probably hear about in about a year and a half. I don't know when it's coming out.
There we go. Fair enough. How you doing, MVG?
I'm good. It's been a good week. Been very busy. A lot of things going on. Obviously behind the scenes with the release, but Yeah, man. Been really busy, but it's been great. So yeah, thanks for having me on as always.
You know, I do like those videos you do after the game comes out. You basically go back and reflect on releasing it and all. You should do that basically every time you get a game out. You should do that. Just reflect on the
I think I will. It's kind of interesting. People like it. People always want to know, you know, how do you feel and what's your take on everything. And I had to keep it pretty high level. I didn't want to. I couldn't get too technical on this one, unfortunately. But yeah, I think people still like the videos. So.
I watched it. I liked when you were talking about how like you were reflecting on the multiplayer and how that multiplayer plays today too. I thought it was interesting. Yep. You almost reviewed the game that you made. It was great.
Right. Yeah. I mean, the multiplayer, I mean, people play Quake for different reasons. Like I personally am a big fan of the single player stuff, especially the new campaigns they put into the games, like the stuff that Machine Games have done. That Dimension of the Past one. I don't know if you guys have tried that out. It's sick. It's so good. But obviously, a lot of people love Quake for the multiplayer. So people like it for different reasons, you know.
You know what's weird about it? The bots have programmed text.
Yep.
If you play against a bot, like after the game, like, good game, that was fun. Oh, you're really good. And I was like, what the fuck? Am I secretly playing online? Like,
no, you're not, because they wouldn't send you those messages.
Right?
The bot AI was completely written from scratch by an id Software guy that worked.
Oh, wow!
So it's the bot AI is really, really good. Like they'll wreck you if you turn them on to maximum difficulty.
Wow, interesting. Let's go over here. We got Max, Dreamcast guy. How we doing tonight?
Hello. Happy to be here.
Good to have Max here. We got Jordan. Jordan, we do have Pokemon stuff to talk about tonight. So
exciting stuff
there. Awesome. And then we do have Evan.
Yep.
Managing a chat, hanging out. And we're going to take a shot here. Nate, how you doing tonight?
I am here.
Okay, we did not check. We did not check if you were here.
There's a lot of cricket noise, and people will complain because they don't like background noise, like a fan squeaking once every 5 minutes. Somehow it disrupts their day. But
it was more than that.
It was once every 5 seconds, Nate.
Yeah, it was not that frequent.
You're in a war zone sometimes.
Yeah.
That's only in July. We're in August now. Now it's the cricket war zone due to humidity. But it's a good day. Yankees won their 9th game in a row, winning their 13th consecutive series, well on their way to another playoff berth. It's time to recognize the greatness of the New York Yankees and not the New York Knicks. They are terrible. They should be removed from New York.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Did you watch Summer League?
Summer League is not a good gauge of what's
talking about. This is how Knicks fans are, guys. Summer League, okay?
I'm sorry. How
Knicks fans for you?
A high school basketball team.
How else are you going to look at the rookies? I'm simply talking about the rookies.
Yeah. How's the Knicks rookies working out for them over the past decade or so? Did they manage
Emmanuel Quickly
contracts?
Emmanuel Quickly looks pretty good. Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson will re-up.
The past decade, how many people have they signed to a second contract in the past out of all their first round picks?
That was pre World Wide West. You can't count. Look, you cannot count.
Okay, can we move on? Let's move on.
At least the Giants look like they may be functional this year.
Knicks fans got an excuse for everything.
There's a new regime. What about the Bulls? You're gonna suck off the Bulls because they got a bunch of ragtag.
Are more first rounders than you guys, so
because they got a bunch of ragtag.
Jimmy Butler, they hit on him. They hit on Derrick Rose.
Yeah,
they hit on first rounders.
Did he stay? Did Jimmy stay? No.
They signed him to a secondary. They signed him to another contract.
But he didn't stay. Y'all ran him out, just like you do everyone not named Michael Jordan.
Godfather than the Knicks. I'll tell you that.
Ain't had relevance in forever. Since Derrick Rose, who's now on the Knicks.
Don't you have an entire live stream channel, or Sean, where you can argue about sports ball?
Oh, I do, because people always ask me questions like never pertaining to video games.
I'm sorry, chat. I'm sorry. I just felt like ruffling Sean's feathers right now.
And there was the big shakeup in the wrestling industry yesterday when CM Punk returned to the wrestling scene by joining AEW.
That was
about free ice cream to everyone in the arena.
That seems like a good thing to talk about on Sean's second channel, his live streaming channel.
Come on, some of these top Game Pass controversy. How long are we going to spend on that?
You'd be surprised.
Outriders. Look, okay. Spoiler alert. Outriders wasn't going to sell if it was on Game Pass.
Stop it!
Outriders had no fucking chance in the world. All right, sorry.
We can do this on our channels. What are you doing?
We do have a sponsorship tonight. That is Honey. We'll be talking more about that a little later on. But let me go through some of these super chats from last week because YouTube was like all over the place and just messed up. I'm gonna go through some of these here quickly. Cristobal says, "Great RPG video, Max. My first RPGs were Phantasy Star. That's from the Master System, and Dragon Warrior on the NES, and also pointing out that impersonation by RGT on Doom conversion to Amico for MVG."
No, that thing. Yeah, I heard about that thing. I heard about that slander.
So Solo asked thoughts on the voice actor announced for Knuckles in the upcoming Sonic sequel.
I'm excited. I watched Suicide Squad right before they announced that. So and Idris Elba completely dominates that movie. So Idris Elba as Knuckles is going to be epic.
But you know what makes it even better? Do you know where he's born? Guess. Guess.
It's like London, right? Or isn't he from?
Does he know the way? Is that what's about?
He's literally from Uganda.
I was gonna say Florida because you were hyping it up and you trying to get Florida to look good.
No,
possible.
He's literally a Ugandan Knuckles, dude.
Okay, Uganda. Okay,
he's definitely
perfect.
Because they put so many memes in the first movie. I guarantee at some point they're gonna get lost and he's gonna go, "Do you know the way?"
100%.
Ben says, "Hey, Spawncast, good stuff every week. I live on a farm and have to mow about 5 acres a week, as well as help take care of goats and chickens. The podcast is great while I'm on the mower. Thanks." Zoob says, "Shout out to my fellow Max Keeble fans. Yep. I owned that movie in middle school. I had also lived in 3 separate nations by then."
That was the video I did last week on that movie.
Oh, okay. There we go. Khalil says, "No cross save for Hades on PS5 and Xbox Series S and X is an L, but quick resume is kind of a W." Alexian says, "It's probably been asked before, but what's a game you all share a birthday with? Doesn't have to be the exact year for me. I share a birthday with Undertale."
I highly doubt any game has released on my birthday.
It's no games released on my birthday.
Yeah, or is he just saying birth year with a game?
No, he said birthday doesn't matter about the year.
Yeah, so like this.
Then
no games ever released on my birthday.
I mean, most likely there is a game for every single one of us. It's just we have
the Mummy movie, and Iron Man both came out.
These are the games that share my birthday: Trials of Mana, Predator Hunting Grounds, and XCOM Chimera Squad.
Oh, that's not bad.
Chimera.
Not bad.
Is there like a list of references for that?
Yeah, I just googled my birthday and then video games, and it came up.
Let's go to a Discord question there, Evan.
You got the Zoob one, but we can go with, what is the most Oscar bait equivalent video game or something similar in your opinion?
Oscar? Death Stranding.
Metal Gear Solid 3. You mean like the story would be worthy of an Oscar?
No,
or something?
It's literally like being developed specifically to get the award.
Death Stranding. Yeah, Death Stranding.
Yeah, the cast alone. I mean, yeah.
I would say like all the David Cage games, like
those two.
Beyond Two Souls and all those. They're always just like, "Hello, it is I, William Dafoe, and I'm acting."
Detroit is very like trying, so I like watching that game so much. It's really. You can say
Heavy Rain too. Pretty much any game that studio.
Detroit's kind of Heavy Rain's kind of trash compared to Detroit though. Like story stuff and everything.
The best part about Heavy Rain was the glitch when the guy would get stuck in the infinite Sean loop. John, so funny.
Yeah, that's great.
Well, you got another Discord question, Evan?
What other property, IP, like book, movie, or TV show would you like to see adapted to a game?
Invincible. Oh my god. Yo.
Oh, that'd be good.
Yeah.
Everybody ever read Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson?
I want to see John Wick in the style of Max Payne.
Yes.
You don't like the tactics game that he's
John Wick X.
Never played it.
I still say to this day, we need an actual well-made Avatar series video game, like being able to actually bend the elements and everything. That'd be really great.
Pee-wee's Big Adventure. I would love that in a movie. I mean, in a game. Think about it. You could do so much stuff. Because Pee-wee goes through all sorts of weird situations.
It would be like Conker's Bad Fur Day, but with Pee-wee,
Let's go over. Let's start with Pokemon. Okay, we had the Pokemon Presents. We had update on Pokemon Unite. Pokemon Cafe Mix is now remixed. Did anyone play that game?
I think I played it once.
Not one.
Pokemon Cafe Mix?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, I played it a little bit.
Okay. It's called Remix now.
Yeah, they're adding more stuff. I give it just to give more substance versus just, like spinning stuff around. It's definitely for all age types. So I'd be curious to see if the power-ups actually make it more enjoyable.
Okay. I had forgotten about it immediately when the presentation ended.
It's so cute. It's an adorable game, but it's just really, for all age types.
Yeah. So. And then we had I guess the big games here that people really tuned in for was we had Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, then we had Legends Arceus. It is Arceus. Everyone's been going back and forth. Is it Arceus? Is it Arceus? I switched back and forth a few times. It is Arceus. They said it like 4 times on camera. So there we go. That's settled, which is good because the thing that always annoys me is when I'm like going through like an article or something else and I see a word or like just a name for something in the game or something, like I feel like I've never heard that said out loud. Yep. And then it's on me to be like, all right, here we go. And Arceus is one of them. Arceus now being one of them. But we had Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl. Who's picking those up, by the way? Because I'm going to grab Diamond.
Yeah,
I think Diamond.
I'll probably get Diamond.
Okay.
Invest or collector's thing here, guys. The double pack, the Sword and Shield double pack is already worth like 200 plus. So just let you guys know those double packs jump in value very quickly because once they're gone, they're gone. So just keep that in mind too for people.
You get a 9.8.
We get a 9.8 on my Sword and Shield Switch.
Yep.
Game.
Interesting. I didn't know those jumped in value so much. So that's even if you just have it. So I wonder if people buy it Pokemon like digitally, but then also get that double pack and just never open it.
That's what I do. That's what I do with the double packs. Yeah, I just buy them digitally and then I just keep my double packs because look at the Pokemon games, the values of them. They just always shoot up,
Yeah, interesting. Okay, I mean it's Pokemon, that makes sense, especially now with how hot that property is online currently. So Diamond Pearl. Sean, you have no interest in this?
None. Negative interest, if anything.
Interesting. Really?
I'm kind of on the fence about it just because I didn't play the original.
I factor it in like this. It's an older style Pokemon game that's relying heavily on nostalgia that I don't have any nostalgia for. So it's kind of like I don't want to play an older style Pokemon game. Nothing wrong with it. Just for me personally, it's like I've moved on.
Well, let me ask you this. Would you be more interested in playing Diamond and Pearl as we're getting these remakes now, or would you be more interested in playing Let's Go Gold and Silver if that came out next year?
I mean, like Let's Go wasn't bad, but it didn't feel. It definitely felt more geared towards younger people. It
was a kids game, yeah.
Yeah, and like at least with Diamond and Pearl, like there's gonna be more of a challenge. I mean, because not to say like mainline Pokemon games are hard, but they can be challenging. Based on matchups, based on other levels of Pokemon that you're fighting. So
okay. I mean, the game looks better. Like visually from what they showed off and everything. Oh yeah. So
like I'm sure it's going to be a really good game. It's just like it's just I'm not interested.
It's almost like when we see those initial trailers where it's like product not final or it's like it's still in development that people don't take that seriously and think that's the final product. Because the game looks significantly better than it did last time we saw it.
Yeah, the reason why is because what people said, like Sword and Shield, when Sword and Shield came out, when they first showed it, there wasn't a lot different, I guess. So I think that's the reason why some people thought that. But go ahead.
Sorry. No, I was just gonna say nostalgia definitely drives a lot of purchases. Obviously, but with Pokemon, and I was talking about this the other day when we were watching the Direct together. Is I'm definitely a newer person, I think Let's Go, Pokemon Go was like my first actual deep dive into Pokemon in general. I wasn't allowed to play enough, and then when I became an adult, I just didn't have time. I already had other interests. Like I wasn't on the internet for a living at that time, so like Pokemon was just very back burner to me. So when Pokemon Go came out, I was like, well, I'm already out and about in my daily life. I might as well play it. And then, it's like, oh, I know these characters. And then past Gen 4, I had no idea who these Pokemon were. So I was like, oh, I have more interest, blah, blah, blah. And then Let's Go came out, finally got more interested into it, which was cute. Seeing everybody's reaction and excitement, over things being kind of revitalized was really cool. And I feel like this is going to be the same, with Brilliant, whatever, Diamond and Pearl, whatever it's called. But for me, Arceus, I have kind of like a high bar set for it a little bit because one thing that I've noticed with Pokemon games in general is the story's just and so I really feel like I feel like Arceus needs to be like the Skyward Sword kind of the Pokemon series, like lay down a whole bunch of stuff for us, give us some really good story and really invest us into it. If it's going to be like every other Pokemon story, I'm kind of going to be like a little bummed a little bit.
Okay, so Legends Arceus. I mean, that's what a lot of people. I mean, Jordan, you're excited for Diamond and Pearl. Obviously, you'll be picking that up. I'm getting it too. Yeah. I think it's. I like that generation. I think it'll be fun. But obviously, everyone was going into this thinking more about Legends Arceus because I feel like most people are already sold on Diamond and Pearl. Like Click said, from nostalgia anyway. They're like, yeah, I'm gonna pick this up so I can relive the days, the early days even of the DS. Legends Arceus. They showed it. And you know what? I gotta say, I'm a little surprised, Jordan, from the Pokemon community on this one, because I thought the internet would have been on fire, and for the most part, it was mostly passive aggressive, which is a massive step up for the Pokemon community.
The word disappointing was trending for about 3 hours afterward. But other than that,
everyone seemed all right with it. For the Pokemon community, it wasn't bad.
They could have delivered the best thing ever made, and people would have still been disappointed.
But that's why I have that scale, right? Where it has to be really bad for it to be that like different from what it usually is. No one said anything about trees, right? Like we didn't even talk about those.
Not at this point.
Not right now. We haven't seen a later game yet.
I mean, the frame rate with some of the animations seemed to be better. Colors,
substantially.
Yeah, the colors were better, but I still feel like there's something like I feel like everything is
flat.
Super sharp.
I feel like the whole thing is flat looking. Like when I look at it, it needs more color depth. It needs to pop off the screen a bit more. Yeah.
I could tell that it was definitely a step up from the trailer we'd previously saw, where it was kind of more of like the it was too earthy a little bit, everything looked like it was like dead green and browns, and like now it was more vibrant, and they showed more oranges and stuff like that. I think the music was really good too. I'm not gonna lie, the music was popping. The way the trailer went with the music, the thing that made me sus about it a little bit was like only at the very end do we see like a couple cutscenes, with the character looking all wow, but like we don't really see any emphasis on any kind of story much, really. So
that's what I'm mostly like thinking about.
Breath of the Wild, Breath of the Wild, like their trailer was freaking amazing because it showed gameplay, but then it also showed story, and there's voice acting. Pokemon, I don't think we're at that point yet, but if they'd given us just a little bit more of like cutscenes or little previews of those animations, I think like I would have been like flat out. But I did get some goosebumps watching that trailer.
I'm thinking there's a bit more to the story in the game than they've shown so far, because
I hope so.
From what we've seen now, you go to the main town or the main area, you get, I guess, some kind of quest that then go out, find certain Pokemon, and then come back after you survey them. That's just the gameplay they've shown so far. So I feel like there's probably other characters involved. You always have a rival or a faction or someone.
They kind of said that because they pretty much set it up to be like, this is like you're creating the first Pokedex. But then I can't recall exactly what they said, but they pretty much alluded to that there would be something else beyond that. I mean, the fact of the matter with Pokemon Arceus to me is this. Does it look great? No. It's Game Freak. Please name me one Game Freak game that's looked great in the past decade.
Little Town Hero.
Okay.
Looks great.
But that game sucked. But that game sucked. It sucked. So
it was terrible. It was a bad game.
You either have to have good graphics or good gameplay with Game Freak. They can't figure out both quite yet. But no, I mean, it's watching that trailer. It's the Pokemon game. It's what when you were, 12, 13 or whatever age you were, the first time you played Pokemon Red and Blue, if you played that, whatever, your first Pokemon game, when you're playing that on your handheld, that's what you envision in your head. You envision this big open world. You envision, seeing these large, areas that you go into, the freedom that goes along with it. So that's why I'm sold on it, because I love seeing like the different traversal systems, a little flying Pokemon, a little ride the water Pokemon. Like I think it's gonna be super good. Like, and even if it's just a little bit different than the standard gameplay, I still think it'll be unique. Oh wow, Becky Lynch just came back. I think it'll be unique enough to where it could potentially be its own series, and it won't necessarily, eat into the other styles of Pokemon games there are.
Yeah, they would have 3 different styles of Pokemon game. Then they'd have Let's Go, they'd have the standard main line, and then they'd have the.
They're definitely going to do that because they can take the Legends and what they do with it, and they can adapt it to any of the other games. And then they can still remake games if they want to. Yeah. And then they can still go with the typical, because like there are still people who want the traditional, battle system like Sword and Shield. So I think they're gonna go, like that type of thing, with it.
It's interesting. It's releasing 2 months? 2 months after Diamond and Pearl release. Like there's a pretty small window there for release, and it looks like they're gonna work together. Nate, what'd you think about Arceus?
The gameplay looks intriguing. Visually, it's just muddy textures, a very odd reflective ground that just stands out. Not sure why the dirt is so shiny. But yeah, overall, the gameplay is really what has interest peaked.
Speaking of the visuals, Nate, you said on Twitter you believe that Game Freak is running into an issue with the hardware, stretching it to the point where it is actually like showing up with frame rate issues or
in certain areas,
like that. That's what that's what you're thinking right now with that.
I'd say you can cite the texture work as an example of it. That's due to the limitation of the memory bandwidth of the hardware, and we're in an open world, so that's going to be more taxing on something like memory bandwidth and the RAM limitations that the hardware possess. So you can't render these high-res textures in a huge area and expect them to look, really sharp. So that can be an element. It can also be budget. It could be time. It can be the middleware that they are using. There's a lot of factors, but I do believe that memory bandwidth is probably something that is limiting the texture work that we're seeing in this game.
I have to think it's more so time related than budget, because if you bring up budget with a Pokemon game, it's hard to like wrap your head around that with the kind of money that comes into that.
We only have $700 billion, so we spent $20 on this thing.
It's literally the most valuable property in the world is Pokemon. So it's hard to believe that they would be like, you know what, we can't spend that kind of money. But I mean, the way it works at Game Freak and Pokemon Company, I mean, they set up budgets for these different projects because it's not just like Game Freak doesn't make all the decisions. So
wait, I'm confused. Why are we? I mean, how could Breath of the Wild look so nice on the Switch, but a Pokemon?
A lot of Breath of the Wild. When you look at Breath of the Wild, it's not that it's technically impressive. A lot of it is artistic direction.
Yeah, they made it work with what they had. Like, why can't Pokemon do that? Is that just come down to the devs?
It should come down to their artistic direction that Pokemon is going in. The artistic direction of Pokemon Arceus isn't really that impressive. It's very flat. It looks antiquated. They need a Tales of Arise moment. They need to really revolutionize the direction that they want to take this art.
Yeah, let's give them credit though. It does look better than the previous trailer. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, the animations weren't at like 5 frames a second on like some of those Pokemon. But like I have to imagine. I mean, Breath of the Wild. I mean, how much of Monolith helps do that too? Like, there's a lot of support run there. I feel like the studio at Game Freak, how many people are even working on this game compared to Breath of the Wild? It's probably nowhere near.
Yeah, but the Pokemon franchise is like the biggest franchise ever.
It's not about money. It's about the time that they get. Breath of the Wild took how many years to make?
Yeah, and Breath of the Wild too is taking.
Breath of the Wild took 2 delays, a new generation, and took 5 years, whereas Arceus was likely made in less than 3 years, and it was probably said it has to come out within this fiscal year because we have merchandise. Pokemon Company can't delay the release of the Arceus, stuffy for the game. This is when it's coming out. That's why the Pokemon games release on schedule every time.
Or like, even if you look at like, let's say another game on Switch that looks better, like SMT5, for example. People are like, oh, what about that? It's like, well, dude, they took the whole generation to make that game.
PS2 game? Come on.
PS2 game, yeah. They took the whole generation to make that game.
The component cables
and they cut, SMT has 400 plus demons. They cut that down to 200. So they cut it by 50%, and they took the whole damn generation to make the game.
But even if you look at something like SMT5, from a technical standpoint and scope, it's really not that technically ambitious. The art style of the characters, of the world, of the environment is really what makes those visuals pleasing. If Pokemon had a different art style, it would probably look better. If you really went with like a Tales of Arise type art approach, the game would look significantly better because of that. And it kind of reminds me of Halo in a way. When people looked at like Halo Infinite or any of the previous Halo games dating back to Halo 3, people would say the graphics don't look that much better, but it's because that Halo art style was limiting the graphical fidelity of what we perceived as growth. The visuals, like the polygon models, increased, but that art style held it back, and it just became so familiar that we weren't recognizing the advancements that they were making technologically.
I was gonna say, if only we had a developer on the cast who could chime in.
I'm gonna agree with Nate on everything he said. I mean, I think it's yeah. I mean, I think a lot of this has to do with timing and budget. Like this game was announced, like not the direct that we just saw, but like wasn't long ago, right? I mean, it kind of came out of nowhere that this game was here and it was coming out like next year. So, yeah, I mean, I feel like it's not a really good comparison with Breath of the Wild. I mean, completely different things. But I mean, I guess there's also some. I get, for me, the graphics, they look a little flat overall. And I feel like if they just applied some post-processing shaders to the world, I think that alone would just help. And that wouldn't really have much of a cost budget-wise, as far as performance, I would think.
It just needs more, I don't know, it needs more color to it. That's especially we're gonna have that OLED switch coming up. I feel like you just start splashing color all over the
I think it's like the foliage for me. It just looks, it doesn't look lush. Like the grass is like kind of stringy. The leaves on the trees are kind of.
I think it's probably one of those games in motion. When you're playing it, you'll probably appreciate it more. Like screenshots and stuff sometimes just don't do it justice.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. Like maybe the art style is supposed to invoke a feeling of like an oil painting, and it's just not coming through with these screenshots because they look blurry. They look a little.
Well, what about the trailer?
Mushy.
Like the Sumi ink painting at the beginning.
Yeah, it could be something like that, and maybe it's just not translating well in the trailer due to compression. And we also don't know how old was this trailer based on. Is this dated footage that was, put together 3 months ago, and they have a better build now? It's all those type of factors at play. But I mean, I don't think there's really a good excuse for them to have such money texture work in this style of game, unless it is due to a technical issue with the hardware limitations, be it the RAM, memory bandwidth, or anything like that.
Well, Jordan. I'm curious about this, all right, especially from like the Pokemon community side there. How's everyone feel about the concept of this game? I mean, we're not going to gyms, right? We're not doing any of that. It's more just about exploring the land and building the Pokedex.
I like it. It's different.
I don't know. I mean, is the community at large? I don't really know because it kind of just seems like a mixed bag of what people always like and dislike per Pokemon game. But when it comes to a spin-off series like this is where my interests lie more in Pokemon, is what they do with the different kind of stuff, and with this one being one of the spin-offs that still is very similar in terms of the mainline series, but playing around with, most importantly for me, the lore and world building of a lot of mysteries and rumors and ideas that Pokemon has alluded to throughout the years that we're, for example, probably going to get here with the character of Arceus and the creation of Pokemon and the first Pokedex and stuff like that. And that's very fascinating. I think that's the coolest part. The other coolest part is I like seeing these ancient Pokemon, like Pokemon that have clearly went extinct or have not been shown, or different variants from back in the day, like Basque Legion, which very cool design. I like that. Stantler, a Generation 2 Pokemon who had no evolution, now getting an evolution. Stuff like that is interesting to me, and I do think there's going to be a cool story of building all that. Obviously, the people you work for and the tasks you do, there's a lot of similarities with Team Galactic from Diamond and Pearl. So I want to see how that evolves into the factions of the future and how everything gets split there. I do wish, my biggest thing for a game like this, though, I think it would heavily benefit from. It seemed like there were some cutscenes, but it seemed when it came to the dialogue, it was very Pokemon dialogue. A character stands there, pops up of text, and that's about it. I would like dialogue. I would like speak, even if your character doesn't talk. Okay, give me a story with cutscenes and animations. I think that's where a good budgetary portion of this should go to, because that really invests you in the lore. If you hear someone telling you the tale, you see it done well. Like I don't care if, again, my character talks or not. I've played many. You could go play Breath of the Wild. Like it's. I want the story to be like fully fleshed out and shown to me. Just walking into a room and seeing the person telling you to do something, just open their mouth, and then all of a sudden a text comes up, goes, "Oh my gosh!" Like Like, give me a little bit more than that.
Was it jarring? Was it jarring to see your player just get slapped by a Pokemon in the trailer?
No, I mean it's funny. I mean, at this point, I think it's something everyone always like has made jokes about. So I think it's funny. I think the battling in it, the way they showed off battling, I like the evading the Pokemon stuff, but like when it came to just doing like the battles and sending out commands with the different styles and stuff like that, I'm like, well, that's just Pokemon.
It was kind of just like, okay, now everyone stop. Okay,
yeah. So that's the stuff that I'm like, that's not that exciting. That's not interesting.
We all sold on Arceus then?
Yeah, hell yeah. I'm buying the hell out of that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. All right, there you go. I guess the trailer did its job then. Very good. Evan, we got a Discord question over there.
What do you think of Fortnite ripping off Among Us?
Ripping. I mean,
did they
Among
really
Us
though?
isn't even the first of its kind.
Yeah,
like,
it wasn't
Among
even the
Us,
first.
So having played it,
at the same time, what do you expect? Fortnite didn't even start as a battle royale.
Right.
So
exactly.
I played the Among Us mode. It is the exact Among Us map. It has a lot of the tasks very much mirroring it. Like, as somebody that played it and has played a lot of Among Us, it's definitely what they're trying to
terminology.
Yeah, well, but it does some stuff better. The tasks, honestly, are way better in the Fortnite version. Like,
really?
Because
they're more fun, more varied.
They're more fun and they're more different. Also, the verticality, the fact that there's upstairs, downstairs, makes where you can sneak attack kills better than obviously Among Us is flat. I don't like the accusation system. I think the accusation system in the Fortnite version, where you like pick people and then say attack or defend, was weird. I don't know.
You have to play with friends. You honestly, like with Among Us, it's going to be more fun than just playing with random people. I think I've probably put like maybe 15 hours into it already, playing with a really good group of people. And the group is what makes it like more enjoyable or just completely miserable. I will say, like, there are a couple things like you can't turn confirmations off. So if you vote off someone, it'll tell you if they're innocent or if they were an imposter. And that makes the game so much easier. Like, if you know you got out one imposter, you know for a fact, oh, we only have one left. And the other thing too is, like, in Among Us, you have each your own tasks and you have to complete your own tasks. Otherwise, you know, the bar doesn't go up. With Fortnite, everybody can complete each other's tasks. So someone could just sit in a corner and do nothing, and everybody can do the tasks for them. And then the other only thing was like when you're a ghost, whether you're an imposter or you're innocent, like, you can't do anything. So if you're an imposter, you can't help your other imposter sabotage things. And if you're a ghost, because everybody else can do the tasks, you don't have to do tasks anymore. So you kind of just sit there. So when you die in that mode, especially if you're a streamer, and I feel bad because I was playing with some big Fortnite streamers last night, and a couple of them, like, I killed right away, and I was like, man, maybe I shouldn't have done that for content's sake, because they're just sitting there. They can't do anything. So I hope they update it. But overall, it's a really fun mode. Fortnite's free. You can bring all your skins and all your emotes over. So a lot of people were enjoying that. So it's highly worth checking out. Yeah.
That was the biggest thing that I didn't like, was all the weird skins, because I feel like in Among Us, since everybody looks the same, you just have to do their colors. It was weird playing, and Superman's accusing me of murder, and Rick and Morty standing next to me. That was really weird to me. And here's Wonder Woman and a ninja and some football player. It was like, this was weird.
We have a Discord question over there on
which branded component cables do you recommend for the Dreamcast when using a RetroTink 5X Pro?
Component cables for the Dreamcast?
That's what he said.
HD Retrovision doesn't have those out yet. No, they're not out yet, though.
I was thinking about what HD Retrovision is. They don't have any. I mean, honestly,
they've been making them, but like, it's just been a pain in the ass to make them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there is any component cables out there for it. So
well, you can do it. You can do VGA, VGA.
That's what I would recommend.
There's also you can find decent adapters that do VGA to HDMI. So it's two boxes, but it comes out really clean.
You want to do one more?
What was the video you put on your YouTube channel that got the most dislikes?
Mine's easy.
I got a lot of those, baby.
I know mine. The one that was the Raid Shadow Legend. The Raid Shadow Legend sponsorship.
The Raid Shadow Legends one.
For us, John,
it's probably the Monster Hunter review I did.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
I got a top 3. Dead by Daylight review. I got crucified over that.
Oh, I know. I know one of them. Can I guess one of them? I know which one of them is.
Go ahead.
CTR.
Yep. Crash Team Racing got crucified on that.
And then the last one's Mario. The
Labo?
Mario one.
Labo.
No, the Cyberpunk one. What Mario one?
You were right on that though.
What was the Mario Deluxe? Didn't you get downvote bombed for that?
Oh yeah, New Super Mario Bros. Deluxe U.
Yeah.
I was supposed to evidently love that game. Like, I don't fucking care. You do realize that if you really hate a video, you're better off not even doing any interaction, because by downvoting it, YouTube will put that in its algorithm.
Yeah, okay, so Cyberpunk, you did get downvoted for, but you were right about it.
Yeah, so it ended up balancing out. Like, at first it was like there was like thousands more dislikes than likes, and then over time it was just like
I saw one comment that was like, "Yo, I downvoted. I'm sorry, I changed it to an upvote."
Okay,
it was like a week later.
My most disliked video is I regret buying Pokemon Sword and Shield. It has 7,000 dislikes. That more likes, but yeah,
Damn, they came for you on that one.
Yeah, 350,000 views. Yeah, you know what? I'll take it. I don't care.
Honestly, I think my most disliked video was recently, which was during E3 week. People got really upset that I basically said this was Microsoft's best presentation. And they're like, this woman has no idea what she's talking about. Every presentation's been literally the best from Microsoft. And they got super upset. So yeah, that was...
Yeah, a good presentation.
I was like, dude, this is exciting. Like, this is their best presentation. I'm super proud of them. Like, good job. And they're like, you have no idea what you're talking about. They've been good all this time. Like, you have no idea what you're talking about. I'm like, dude, I'm saying good things about them.
You're 100% correct.
I mean, I
agree with you.
Yeah, I can't really say they had better presentations recently since. Honestly, when was the last time they released their first party game?
I think this was their best presentation since like the 360 days.
Yeah,
that's how far back I'm thinking.
And their 360 presentations were kind of not.
They're kind of corny going back and watching now, aren't they? Yeah.
Good word, corny. They got Skittles. They got Skittles. Remember Skittles? You guys remember that?
I missed the Lego car that they drive out on.
You ever seen the bottom of an Avatar shoe? You ever see the bottom of the guy does
that's right.
What was the year they had the car? They had the car out. Was that 2018?
They did a couple years in a row.
Yeah.
Do you remember Donkey's video? He just like, and a car, like when he was.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, because they didn't even talk. They just it was like 3 or 4 times they actually said anything. Otherwise, it was just like trailer to trailer, and basically they just rolled through it. So
it was like $1 million car, and they drop it down from the ceiling, and it looks real cool. And it's like, why are you even doing this?
Yeah.
It takes up time. Like, and those were live, so people would be shuffling back and forth on stage. It just seemed like you were just watching something. One year they had Reggie Bush and some guy play Madden, and it was so scripted.
I remember that.
Madden. And the guy's like, "All right, brother. Oh yeah, you want to take me?" Oh, you know, he was like fake, and Reggie's like, Reggie's like, why are you talking like that, man? Like,
I'm not lying. Those Microsoft fanboys are savage. Like, the things they wrote in those comments, I had to delete a lot of them. I was like, this is gonna get me in trouble. What you're saying, like, Microsoft boys are wild.
Well, it's weird when you get those comments because you can track and realize these people have never been subscribed. They've never watched your content.
No, never.
They come and leave one mean comment, and then they go directly back to their mom's basement, and they just
they're looking for other reactions too, and it's like. Because I complimented something, they're upset.
Not the dad's basement, the mom's basement. You got to make sure you put the mom's basement, not dad.
Truly Epic says new Saints Row and Lego Star Wars at Gamescom. Yeah, we're getting some kind of Saints Row announcement. Apparently it's gonna be a reboot, so I don't know, that'd be cool. Anna Studio says I've just 100%ed. It's 12 minutes on Game Pass, and that game is an outstanding experience. It is an incredible achievement in terms of art and storytelling. I downloaded it today. I have not played it because I'm playing Ghost of Tsushima, so
can't get into it.
I will get. Oh, okay.
I played it for like, I would say almost an hour. No, I played it for almost an hour, and like, I don't know. I just don't like the movement. Like, the movement's just very clunky to me. It's a very interesting premise, though.
Paleo says the Paw Patrol movie is an anti-cat propaganda.
What?
We need more of that.
Whoa, what?
John, you have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, I can't stand cats.
You don't like horses.
What?
You don't like. Oh, I'm realizing because Sean doesn't like any animal that has an attitude that will give him flack back if he says something to it. Because cats won't.
Dogs
take your
will
flack,
sometimes.
Sean. No, dogs will be like, yeah, I'm sorry. You're so right. But cats will be like, fuck you, Sean. You're wrong. I'm gonna pee on your bed.
Cannot stand cats.
Ian says shout out to MVG for the amazing Quake port. Got it for both PS5 and Switch. Nostalgia overload. My face hurts from grinning like an idiot while playing.
It's never looked this good.
Enjoy it.
Scott says CM Punk, all caps.
Oh yeah, much better than that Becky Lynch situation we just had. Oh boy. So in case you're not watching something, I have to fill it up. In case you're not watching SummerSlam, she essentially came out and got a match with Bianca Belair for some reason, who's the SmackDown Women's Champion, not the Raw Women's Champion, even though the Raw Women's belt is the belt she vacated when she got pregnant. 10-second match, and she squashes Bianca. So you built up this character. All this time. You made her a household name pretty much, and you destroy it for a returning vet.
T-Joe says, remember when games used to release finished? It's a different time.
Good old days.
Joshua says, my favorite show, thanks to all who make exceptional content. Derek says, yo, RGT, what's your dream match for CM Punk now that he's in AEW? Also, what's your favorite Hot Pocket flavor?
Philly cheesesteak is very underrated when it comes to Hot Pockets. And I would say, I mean, there's so many potential matchups. I mean, you got to say Punk versus Omega. Like, that would be some next level shit, I think. I think the Darby Allin match is going to be really good, too. That sold me on that pay-per-view.
And let's go to, this is from Jonah saying, thoughts on Activision name being missing from Call of Duty Vanguard trailer?
Yeah, I saw that.
Interesting.
I mean, it's a PR move.
Yeah, obviously, because they still got downvoted more than usual, although Infinite Warfare did get lit up pretty bad, and that was just because it was Infinite.
All the people downloaded probably have the game pre-ordered, so I mean,
it's still gonna sell ridiculously well, let's be honest.
Battlefield might do better not might do better. Battlefield might catch some ground.
Yes, for sure. This would be a good year to do it for Battlefield.
I'm buying Battlefield. I ain't buying COD.
Yeah, obviously Halo.
You're not buying COD?
And
nope.
And Battlefield. But Sean, if we're looking to buy this stuff online, there's got to be a way we can save, right? We can save off these games.
Oh yeah. If only there was a website where when you go on various websites such as Amazon.com, it shows you the high point and the low price point for the game, so you know if you're getting a good deal on it or not.
Could that be Honey? Could Honey do that, Sean?
They can do that, and that's how I got these Zevias, which are normally $15, but the 16 pack is currently on sale for $12, letting me know that I got it for the lowest price possible.
Well, we all shop online, and we see that promo field taunt us at checkout. But thanks to Honey, manually searching for coupon codes is a thing of the past. Honey is the free browser extension that scours the internet for promo codes and applies the best one it finds to your cart. Honey supports over 30,000 stores online. You've been buying Zevia, Sean? I see that there. I don't know if you're making preparations for any moves or anything in the future here too.
Yeah, I gotta definitely be using Amazon a lot and looking for the best deals available. So Honey is going to come in very handy with that.
Well, when you check out, a little Honey button drops down, and all you have to do is click apply coupons. Wait a few seconds as Honey searches for coupons it can find for that site, and you save money. It's that easy, Sean.
It is. I do it all the time.
That easy. Honey has found its over 17 million members, over $2 billion in savings. If you don't already have Honey, you could be straight up missing out on free savings. It's literally free and installs in a few seconds. Get Honey for free at joinhoney.com/spawncast. That is down in the description below. And by getting it, you'll be doing yourself a solid and supporting this podcast. That's joinhoney.com/spawncast. Evan, do we have a Discord question over there?
Has anyone heard of Black Myth Wukong, the upcoming Souls-like game that is based on the Journey to the West story? I think you and I covered it.
Yeah, we covered the trailer, the first one, because when they first showed it, it looks
great.
We had these next gen games that we found out now are mostly cross gen, but and we were kind of like, I mean, I guess that kind of looks next gen. That game does actually look next gen. Yeah. So yes,
another 10 minutes of gameplay was just posted, and I watched it yesterday. It's insane.
Did they show that? Did they show that whole bit where they're fighting in the clouds? That was ridiculous at the end of that first trailer.
I'm so ready for that game.
This was from Dreadful Robot saying, "What's FG's opinion of RGT's MVG impersonation?"
Yeah, I heard about that slander, and I wasn't very impressed by it. I mean, it was about a 5 out of 10.
I mean, that meme I put on your Quake post.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, actually, I laughed at that.
Somebody linked that to. I didn't. Somebody linked that.
Oh yeah, you gotta drop that. That was good.
Drop that in the
Mr. Pete asks, MVG, how many hoops did Sony make you jump through for the cross-platform play?
It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad.
There you go. You heard it here. Yep. Let's go over to Game Pass. Game Pass was trending on Twitter this week. Nate, I know you saw it because I think you mentioned it at one point, right? All right, Nate's not here. Oh, wait, no, he's here.
He's getting attacked by crickets.
Literal crickets.
They're loud.
Okay, Game Pass, Nate. Game Pass was trending. All right, this brought up a whole conversation once again around, I guess, the longevity of the service with developers in mind or publishers or studios, but it has to do with Square Enix. And I have some questions for Square Enix about this one.
Let's be clear. Let's be clear here. This is not a controversy for Game Pass. The sole problem in this matter is Square Enix. It has nothing to do with Game Pass.
This is
not a Game Pass controversy. This is a Square Enix controversy.
Hold on. Controversy is defined as disagreement, typically when prolonged, public, and heated. And what I saw on Twitter the other day was certainly a controversy.
Yeah, that is because of generalizations by the masses. Don't know how to separate the two subject matters.
This says public and heated. That might as well just say Twitter.
The problem here was Square. It's not Game Pass. This is no different than the Disney contract with Scarlett Johansson. When you take money from Microsoft for a Game Pass deal, and then you make a deal with your developer, People Can't Fly, where you'll say, we will reimburse you or we will pay you based on sales. It's no different than when Disney said to Scarlett Johansson, we'll give you a bonus based on ticket sales, but we're also putting it on the streaming service. So we're going to undermine the deal we made with you. So Square was more than willing to take the money that Microsoft was going to offer them to put it on Game Pass, but they also knew that this would limit sales potential on the platform, especially, of the Xbox. So they set up People Can Fly for failure. So Square should be the one that is being held accountable for this. This is not a Game Pass issue.
So it was also brought up about Hades in the UK. This was actually written by Forbes, Paul Tassi. 93% of Hades box sales are on PlayStation.
I wonder why.
I mean, Xbox raised another question there about that. These compounded on top of each other. Go to AJ.
They push. I think Xbox people just buy digital a lot more too. I mean, I'm not saying that it sells more, but I just think that the Xbox base, they're just more moving towards Game Pass and digital.
Well, I mean, yeah, Hades just dropped on Game Pass, and for me, at that point when it's on Game Pass, I'm like, I guess I'll just go ahead and hit this button and get it on Game Pass. I'm not gonna go out and buy it physically like that. Then I already have Hades anyway.
I did. I bought Hades physical for the PS5. That's coming in Sunday.
What's interesting about the deals for Game Pass is apparently there's a couple different kinds. There's one I think where you just get a lump sum up front, and there's other ones that are with engagements or downloads. Apparently there's a few different kinds. So if Hades takes one where it's how many downloads we get, I mean, they could be actually.
I mean, that can depend on the company. With Hades, if Supergiant Games is handling publishing and they're also the developer, when Microsoft comes in with a bag, they're benefiting from that 100%. They were the developer and publisher. With a case of Outriders, Square Enix is the one getting the money because they were the publisher. So People Can't Fly did not benefit from that deal.
I wonder.
That's where the discussion of the topic, it really comes down to nuance. You have to view the publisher in the instance of what are they doing and how transparent are they with the developer about a potential Game Pass deal and how are they transferring funds.
Is anyone concerned? Okay, go ahead, MG.
Just real quick. So Randall Thor, my good buddy, said on Twitter that Square said that Outriders was on track to become the company's next major franchise.
I also have down here that they're very happy with the Game Pass Game Pass effect.
Where is the disconnect here? Where is the disconnect here? What's happening?
The disconnect there can be simply explained as Square Enix is viewing it as users. They are also, they're accounting for the Game Pass users. So they're saying we had 3 million people play the game, but we're omitting the fact that we only sold 500,000 copies. But we're viewing that as a success because we got X amount of millions from Microsoft. We saw a good amount of players engage with our game, and maybe we see a future for it. Now, you as the developer, you made that deal of we're getting paid based on sales. Well, the sales didn't come in. So Square's happy. They got a bag from Microsoft. They like what they saw as far as the base is concerned. But as a developer, you're angry because they basically undermined you and finessed you. And that's where the disconnect may be coming into play. So where Square made a mistake was not even a mistake because they still benefit from it. But had Outriders had some form of, I hate saying it, if they had microtransactions, the game probably would have been more profitable for them in the long term because you would have had those Game Pass users purchasing, whatever the hell the game offered in terms of MTX.
I'm a little confused about two things though. One, Outriders, they said they didn't want it to be a live service game, but it needs to connect to the internet for you to play it. That sounds like a live service game.
Everything about that game felt like a live service game.
Exactly. It's like they got to the end and they were like, maybe we'll pull these microtransactions out because I don't know, they're getting that deal through Game Pass or something.
Made it an instant not buy for me when I saw it.
That was weird to me, because I was like, why do I have to be online if like they're saying I can play through the entire thing by myself and it's not a live service?
I don't know why that triggered me so much, but it did.
It made it literally unplayable for a lot of people, and not just people with bad internet connections, but the first opening weeks, the game servers kept flickering, so it was kicking people offline. And then it turned out that people's save files were talking to the server, so people's save files were being collected.
Oh, they deleted the inventory.
So people were playing 300 hours farming the best legendaries, and then their character just vanishes. It was such a stupid system.
Yeah, and my other thing is, does anyone think it's weird that Square is in charge of tracking sales that would pay out royalties? And like People Can Fly have no idea how many copies have actually sold. So like, could they just never get royalties then? Because Square just be like, I don't know what you're talking about.
People Can Fly should have made a better deal with Square Enix.
That's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like
we don't know the discussions that were had. We don't know how the contract was written up. And I believe they're working together again on another project. So they must have had some nice working relationship up to this point. And I mean, it's a real shame to see Square do something this shady. It's really disappointing that, I mean, this is corporate. This is business.
Wait, can I ask you a question?
They did with IO also, though.
Yes. And then look what happened. They lose IO. They make Hitman 3, and it's one of their biggest success.
Yeah, it recouped everything in like a week.
Yep.
So OJ. Sorry.
You're saying they got finessed? Like, how can you prove, or not how can you prove, but how do you know that they didn't know about the Game Pass deal beforehand? Like, how do you know People Can Fly didn't know about that Game Pass deal?
Well,
they may have learned about it towards the end of development, but probably not when they actually signed the agreement with Square in the early portions of the project beginning.
And there's also probably the chance that they assumed that the income from it might have been factored into the overall game sales as opposed to being held off and separate.
Yeah, I mean, let's use Quake. MVG, when you began development of this project, were you aware that this game could have been going to Game Pass?
No, I mean, that's not really something that developers think about. It's just really about building the game and shipping it, right? I mean, at some point there's a discussion, right? If the game does need to come to Game Pass, then we have to think about what we need to do to get it on Game Pass. But like, yeah, I mean, you're not really focused on that as a developer. You're just focused on getting the game out.
And if Jeff Grubb's information is accurate, the deal was made weeks in advance of the game's actual release. So this is something that may have come about very late into it, and maybe Square saw low pre-orders and they said, we have to make a pivot. Microsoft came in and said, we're going to give you X amount of millions to get this game on the service. And they said, let's do it.
And Max, what were you trying to say?
So I got to sit down with the developers and actually interview them in person about a year ago. And when I sat there and talked to them, they seemed very, very happy with the project. But one thing that kind of made clear is that it sounded like Square Enix kind of gave them full creative freedom. They could make the game whatever they want and put any mechanics they want. It sounded like that's part of the reason they worked with Square Enix. So maybe they were just so happy to have funding for this dream project they were working on that they weren't thinking about all the P's and I's and how's this going to pay out. And now it's kind of being like, all right, well, now where's the money? Oh no,
Oh, I see that in the chat. Jeff Grubb says that that Game Pass deal was made weeks before we heard about it. So that was pretty quick then. Jeez.
And one thing I've seen a lot in the chat is people saying, oh, look, Game Pass hurts sales. I don't believe Game Pass is the sole reason that sales of this particular product were low. The game wasn't really well received at launch. It had a lot of issues. It launched with some problems. It was buggy. It was glitchy. So had the game launched at, a 9 out of 10 and it was being highly praised, then you would have seen stronger sales on the Sony and PC platforms. So this just seems like it was a snowball of rough launch, Square taking a lot of money and not really divulging those details to the developer, and they took their money and ran.
I think we need more data on the whole Game Pass thing. Like, this is going to be something we're going to be watching throughout this generation, basically, to see how it does. Because we still need Microsoft to get back to releasing first-party titles anyway, because those are going straight into Game Pass. And I mean, we're going to get here soon because Psychonauts 2 at least is coming from them. That's this week coming up. So
I might add, new IP with the 70s, low 70s Metacritic. That's not a recipe for success.
Yeah. So.
As more and more people flock to Game Pass, right? Because it's a great deal for the consumer. Do you potentially see, like when we talked about, microtransactions could have possibly helped them with profits? Do you possibly see developers aiming more towards the Game Pass setup versus aiming just towards people buying it on PlayStation or PC? Because I don't know. For me, I'm just curious about, do you see games possibly changing their structure in the future?
I see
or
what you're
services
saying.
like Game Pass, like wouldn't this encourage
service.
more?
Yeah, I do, and we haven't talked about Halo yet, but we will, and I think that's a prime example of
That's what I think about.
the way things are changing.
But also because this is so new, I feel like at least on the contract agreement side of things, there will be changes going forward where companies will be like, no, we have to pre-talk about the potential of Game Pass now signing this contract, as opposed to waiting till later and getting screwed over.
See, that's the thing with Game Pass. There's some success stories. A lot of indie developers have come out and said Game Pass has actually boosted my sales to the point where they dwarf what we get on Steam or even Sony platforms and Nintendo. So for every success story like that, there's going to be a failure. And I know of some bigger name games that were on Game Pass that, due to the promotional aspect that Game Pass presents, due to the marketing and such, that they've actually been more profitable in terms of revenue than other platforms.
Well, do they have microtransactions in that though? How are they profitable then?
Is that people are playing the games and they're buying them with their 10% discount after the fact, saying, I really like this game, I want to own it now.
I think they also probably have lower, like Square's expectations got to be out of control for some of this stuff, to be honest. But like, if you're an indie developer, and like the kind of money Microsoft puts in front of you covers basically all of your costs right then and there. You take that, right? Like, yeah, obviously. But if you're a larger publisher and it's like, it might, we'll see. Then I can see why you might think about it a bit more and be like, maybe we won't. We'll just drop it. And like Tales of Arise is a game that I thought Microsoft would have made a push for to try to get on the Game Pass.
And it would make sense for them because the sales potential of Tales of Arise on the Xbox platform is limited. So let's get that on Game Pass, because we're not really hurting ourselves. The majority of sales are going to be on the PlayStation brand anyways. But if we can get a few more interested consumers here, if you're Namco, take the bag from Microsoft, or wait 6 months, launch it, get X amount of sales, and then take the bag for Game Pass
Scarlet Nexus.
Later.
That should have been on Game Pass. That blows my mind. It wasn't on Game Pass.
But let's say it comes in the next couple of months. It was a smart move by them because they got X amount of sales. They made that money, and now they're going to take a few $1 million from Microsoft. So they double dipped and walked out with higher profit.
I think that the best thing to do, like indie games, I think those are maybe a bit better for Game Pass because of the development budget and what they'll give you for it up front. I think the bigger games, it might affect things. I saw, and you can't use the internet, but so many people didn't buy Scarlet Nexus on Xbox because they felt that it should have been a Game Pass game. So it works both ways. It's like, you can get a bag and everything, but what happens when it doesn't go to Game Pass?
There is a game. There is a game that is suffering from that right now. It is a travesty on Xbox for this. Death's Door should be at 1 million sold right now.
Is it not on Game Pass?
And it blows my mind that people are not buying this game because it is that good of a game. It's $20.
The psychology is, I'm going to wait for Game Pass.
That's 20.
I get what everyone's saying, but you have to look at the consumer side, and they're like, well, it's going to be on Game Pass. It's going to be on Game Pass. I'm going to wait. And then maybe it never comes to GameSs. Then the game doesn't. Scarlet Nexus is already $45. They're already discounting it. They're saying that, they're going to get to 1 million sales by next year. It's going to get to 1 million by next year. I think
Death's Door has sold 100,000 copies, and they're happy with that. But I feel like I want to say a good majority of that's probably on the PC side with Steam, to be honest. I think
that game should have done.
It's on Steam, right, Evan? That's not an Epic Games
better.
one.
That should be a Steam one.
I had to double check. I got it on the Xbox, but I saw it. I was like,
on Steam,
this game is really good. And it actually gets talked about quite a bit. Got good reviews on Metacritic. That might be the indie game at the end of the year that finds its way into the game of the year discussion. And I think it should be at 1 million sold at $20 already. So,
well, if it gets in that discussion, it might spur sales.
I also saw someone in chat bring up Plague Tale going to Game Pass, and now he's picking up the sequel for sure. I loved Plague Tale. I picked it up and purchased it. I can't wait to play the sequel. And in this situation, that might also be a good thing.
Yeah, if you get the older game, like the first one, you put it into like Game Pass, and then the newer ones coming up anyway. That's a good way to get some nice advertisement as well. Just throw it in there, let people try it, and see what they think.
I mean, it's tough. You have to view it situation by situation in terms of the software being released on the platform. There's no universal. Absolutely. It's no universal blueprint that they can follow that's going to say, this is going to do this.
We see how these companies are looking more towards these subscription services, like Ubisoft doing it, EA's doing it. And we saw what happened with the movie side of things, where like everyone's just like on-demand video. And that's why there's this assumption that we will eventually get to a point where it's all subscription services for games. And I mean, I don't know. It's a bit interesting right now looking at how Game Pass is going currently.
I think Nintendo's stubbornness of being a Japanese company and a very Japanese company.
Don't even start on Nintendo with this.
But I think that'll be a strength where they won't do a subscription service. Whether you like that or not, that's up to you. But I think they'll preserve the sanctity of a game releasing.
They should have 100 million subscribers like right now if they took their legacy stuff and built it,
of course,
everywhere just as their legacy games, and it's just a subscription thing you just subscribe to.
Sony is going away. Sony's like going towards we want $70 big release, so they're being defiant as well.
Yep.
Sony's being extremely defiant on that, and they're standing their ground. People thought that they would oh no, we'll ease up on this 70. Maybe no. All the big games are going to be 70. Like they're not backing down from that. So,
it's going to be interesting. Like I said, this generation, it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out.
Another way to look at it is just options. I mean, maybe let's be realistic here. One of the things that I think a lot of us probably aren't even thinking of is, you talk about third-party games, and how they're sort of, they're universal. A third-party game will come out on both the PlayStation and the Xbox. Maybe there'll be a version for the Switch as well. Just sort of depends on the schematics of it. But could you see a point where companies say, well, I want our third-party game to be viewed as a $70 game, or a company can say, well, I want our game to be a Game Pass game, and then you start seeing multi-platforms essentially start to dwindle a little bit because you're essentially picking a side. Do you see your game? Do you think it's better for your game to be a full retail release, or do you think that your game would be better off on a subscription style service?
Why not both?
Yeah. Well,
I mean, both is what we have right now, but you got to look at the books eventually and be like, well, this is what's working for us and this isn't what's working for us. And if one of those areas isn't working for you, obviously it won't be, it's definitely a case by case basis, I feel. But I think there are some games, that will either one way or the other sort of lean into that. I'm sorry, Click, what were you saying?
No. I mean, I was going to agree with him on that too. But also, I feel like it almost seems like what people were saying, like indie developers, third party developers, it kind of sounds bad, but I have a lot of friends who are artists, right? And they'll get a lot of streamers who are like, hey, I'd love to commission you for art, but I don't have the money. Can I pay you an exposure? Essentially? Can I I'll just spread your name around and I'll advertise for free for you if you make all the. I'm sure Evan gets that all the time.
Oh yeah, he does.
I'll literally pay you an exposure.
Evan just got uncomfortable. He was like,
yeah, Evan's like, that's like my trigger word. I feel like almost like that is kind of how indie developers might approach that in a situation where it's like, okay, well, it kind of is exposure. It's getting their name out. It's doing the advertisement for us. It's putting us on a banner of some sort. But at what point is there a game, where it is a bigger ticket game? It is a game that they feel like is worth more, because I feel like in a way people are saying, oh, if it's on Game Pass, it's not worth buying, versus some people will be like, I played it on Game Pass, I liked it, I'll buy it separately. I don't think that's the majority of people. I think people are going to play it on Game Pass, they'll play it once, they'll play it till it's gone or till they're done with it, and then they'll never touch it again. They'll never think about it again. I think oftentimes it would be more benefit for those people who feel like their game is bigger than a subscription service, to where they want people to buy that, own it, if it's physical or digital, and then they choose what to do with it afterwards. It's not just like an afterthought. thought. So like to me, it's almost like, okay, well, if it's the indie developer, third party kind of thing, I can understand the exposure thought. It's probably way more widespread than you would have by yourself. But I could totally, again, with Sean, like I could see people just realize, hey, this isn't really worth having it on a subscription service. We're going to have it as a separate purchase on its own. And again, I think it's going to be really interesting to see how it develops, because this is like a new economy almost. So time still will tell, but I don't know. I understand Sony's take. I understand Nintendo's take. I think Xbox has, Microsoft has their own take on it as well. I don't know. It's just a lot right now, but for me, it just seems like a whole exposure thing right now.
I mean, Xbox for me is Game Pass machine. That's all I use it for now. I don't buy games on Xbox anymore. I just use, if it's on Game Pass, I'm going to play it. If it's not like Death's Door, I'm going to wait for it to turn up on Game Pass eventually.
I might gift you the game.
Oh, I would love it. Please do.
I might have to. Someone else has to play Death's Door. Well, Max played it. Someone else has to play it. Someone else here has to play Death's Door. I think you would like it a lot, MVG.
Yeah, I've heard really good things about it, and it's not that I'm a cheapskate. I don't want to pay $20 for it. I just feel like eventually it's just going to hit Game Pass, and I'm going to play it then.
Click, you should play it on stream. I think it'd be a good time.
I thought it was funny because during that direct that they announced it was the digital Devolver one, wasn't it?
Devolver. Yeah.
Like the game right before it, I was like, man, I love this aesthetic. It looks so cool. And then I found out it was a card game. I'm like, okay, never mind. Like I want like dodge rolls and parries and running around. And then literally Death's Door they showed right after. I'm like, that's the game. That's exactly what I'm talking about right there. And obviously I'm still playing Mass Effect. It's been like almost 3 months at this point. But once I'm done, Death's Door is on that list for sure, because I really want to check it out.
Let's see. This is from Mug saying, do you guys think the 120-in-1 SNES repros are a good buy for someone that wants to play the games on original hardware? Anything to look out for? I would just get what's the Super Nintendo SD solution?
You can get the EverDrives.
Yeah, I would just get those, to be honest.
I have an EverDrive for everything. The Game Boy Advance one is especially great.
Oh yeah,
it is. Yep.
I would just get the EverDrive. They make it for the 64 as well and all this. So that's I would save a bit more and just grab that. That way you can control and pick and choose which games are on there. So that's what I would do. Dreadful Rob says the Metroid 5 million teasers are getting intense.
Imagine thinking that game's gonna sell 5 million in a year. Couldn't be me, man.
Jalen says, congrats on the new crib, RGT. Will you still be bringing your raccoon friend to the new crib?
No, I mean, because it's near a main road. So, there's not nearly as many trees. It's a little more of a urban area, I guess. I don't know. What do you call like cities? Metro area, urban. But I mean, they're in good hands. All the people in this area feed them.
Ruz says, will there be any special edition PS5 or Xbox Series consoles anytime soon? I was really hoping Microsoft would have done one for Xbox or for Halo, but it doesn't appear like they're going to. Might do a controller for it. I don't know. So which side do you think comes out with the first special edition system? And do you have an idea which game it might be?
Xbox, and it's going to be Halo, even if it comes out after Infinite. Maybe when Season 2, because now they're saying there's going to be seasons of Halo Infinite.
Yeah,
maybe with Season 2 it'll be the Xbox special.
I disagree. I think it's going to be Sony and God of War.
That's what I think too. I think it's going to be a God of War PlayStation.
Don't do that to me.
I'm still shocked that didn't Sony do more? Spider-Man.
Yeah, really.
Sony did more special editions last gen. Sony did a bunch.
They did a lot.
Yeah, Microsoft didn't do as many special editions from what they did ones where you can enter a contest and get it, but there wasn't a lot of special editions that everyone could just go buy. Whereas Sony had a ton.
Aiden Quinn says, how much do you spend on OnlyFans, RGT? Be honest.
Nothing. You're crazy.
So
I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
Next question.
Yeah, I had them coming after me, bro. Don't say anything. They were coming after me.
No, I wasn't necessarily. I wasn't necessarily gonna say anything bad about OnlyFans. Get your bag, but just for me, it's I'm still not going to say it because
I wasn't saying anything about getting the bag either. People are dumb. They can't interpret a damn post. I was making fun of the dudes that were pathetic. And they got mad at me for that.
Charlotte Flair won. There's a shock. Jesus
Switch
Christ,
says, congrats to MVG at Night Dive.
How many titles does she have now? She's won the belt 15 times. She has more wins than her father. for it. Jeez. She wins the belt 3 times a year.
Congrats to MVG and Night Dive. Let's pray Nintendo will collab with Night Dive on a Geist remaster. JK, but can't wait for the next project.
No, reject that project.
I'm available, Nintendo.
Geist?
No.
I would love Geist.
Yeah, I'd be all over that. That'd be cool.
Here, real quick, I gotta run. I'm working on a big review for Monday morning. If y'all aren't subscribed, go subscribe. I have to finish this freaking video game before midnight. Much love.
All right. See you, Max.
Hey, Max.
Paulie says, devs still haven't adapted to COVID. Will they ever?
Yes.
I think so.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Eventually. No.
It'll take time, but it
Maybe. Dark Dream says, just wanted to mention Pokemon Legends Arceus will likely sell fine enough to inspire the upcoming gens. Plus, both Gen 4 remakes are looking good. I don't know why these games are so controversial. It's Pokemon. It's because it's Pokemon. Let me have... Oh, no. Monroe says, who's ready for Pokemon Evolving Skies?
Oh, the new card set that comes out next week right here.
Saw a guy pull 2 rainbow cards in one build and battle box. Also, these Madden 22 reviews are poor, not worth $70. I've not looked at the Madden 22 reviews. I will soon though, because it sounds funny.
Here's the thing: it's getting like 6s on places that usually give it like 9s. That's how bad this. Yeah.
You know how it was going to be bad, dude. First of all, JP left. He was one of the best guys that was there. He left, but on top of that, cover is horrendous.
Oh yeah,
that is the worst cover I have ever seen for a mat. Like it's like the Peyton Hillis.
Oh, it's still
like,
to be determined.
It's terrible. That cover is so bad.
Like IGN,
the user scores a 0.8.
IGN gave it a 6, and like their review got downvoted because it wasn't low enough of a score.
Madden it's so terrible. It's so sad because I used to buy Madden every year, man. You know,
Madden was awesome back in like 05 and 06. Real like 05 was it. That was
03 wasn't bad too. I think 03, 04, 05, 06. Nope. 07 was okay. 08 was terrible. It was bad. 09 was bad, but 2010 was good. 2011, 2012, and then that's when it started. It's like around that area, man. But that stupid Tom Brady and
whoa! Are you about to buy Mahomes?
That cover, they're just looking at it. They're just like, it's like a stupid selfie that their kid took. Like
they're two goats looking at each other.
Lazy.
They used to have the cool ones like where like the paint was like splashing, like the color from their jersey splashing off of them.
Like remember the dual cover Madden 2010?
It had Palomalu and Fitzgerald. That was a good one.
It was, and the game was good. Like they're lazy. They're at this point I don't think, not that they're lazy because
they're seeing what they can get away with.
But it's just like there's no who's the person that's gonna bring the spark to the Madden franchise. You know, like there's nobody there to do that.
Well, shout out to the person for the Pokemon part of the question.
The only chance it really has is if the NFL gets pissed and wants it and gets pissed about them, kind of like what we saw, not necessarily pissed with MLB The Show going multi-plat.
John, you're just trying to figure out a path to get it on the Switch.
I'm trying to figure out how to get fucking NFL 2K back.
Oh yeah, get 2K back. That'd be cool. That'd be all right. They're doing an arcade. They're doing an arcade.
Pokemon Madden. Is Madden coming to Pokemon?
Yeah, this is from Cristobal saying, congrats to MVG on Quake Revival. Congrats to MVG or RGT on winning offer on New Place. Will you miss Chungus and Raccoon Gang?
Yes, of course. But like I said, they're in good hands. So. And plus, with this hurricane, they might, end up in a different fucking part of the woods.
Walk outside at your new house and they're just there.
Yeah, like, what's up?
The hurricane brought us here. Rex says, July 14th, 1983, B-Day, Mario Bros. Arcade. Braun says, we need a remaster of the Burger King game, Sneak King.
No, Sneak King was fun. That's crazy that you could buy like a game at Burger King for like $3 fucking. A physical video game.
Burger King, if you're watching, I'm available.
Stop it.
Fish Fan says, thanks for another great show, Spawn Crew. Archie, any more close call menage a trois incidents? Also, any good Gma eats this week?
God,
I didn't see Grandma this week because there
was a lot of apostrophes in there. I had to make sure I read it right.
You did.
Okay, good.
No, I didn't cross the lines. Haven't crossed the lines recently, so we're good.
Okay. Aries says, is the fix already in against Metroid Dread, Shin Megami Tensei 5, and Monster Hunter Rise for Game of the Year consideration?
The fix in for what?
Is the fix in? Like, are they going to get Fire Emblemed?
Who, Metroid Dread?
Shin Megami Tensei 5 won't be in the conversation.
Well, SMT5 won't be in the conversation. Yeah.
Monster Hunter Rise,
it's going to review good.
Monster Hunter Rise, is that going to get Fire Emblemed?
No, because it's sold too much, and it's Monster is just much bigger. So
it's kind of a weak year so far.
It kind of has been. We'll see if the next 4 months pick up overall. But yeah, I was looking back. I'm like, Flight Simulator's like the 190 plus reviewed game this year, really?
Yeah.
It's weird. And this is Daniel says, just here to spread the word of Brendan Fraser. Everyone support the man on his future endeavors with his future movie roles. He definitely deserves it, along with Johnny Depp. Is that the person who was playing the Switch on a voice?
Look,
like a
Brendan,
call?
Brendan, who Brendan Fraser is?
He's a part of 2 of the greatest movies of all time.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Is that the person who was playing the Switch?
Yes. And Airheads. Airheads is a cinematography masterpiece.
I thought you were going to say Dudley Do-Right.
No, Airheads is amazing.
What about George of the Jungle?
I don't like that one.
Looney Tunes back in action.
Let's go over to Halo Infinite. All right.
Oh, it's Xenoman too. Wheeze the juice.
Halo Infinite. Halo Infinite is MVG said something interesting on Twitter. This was yesterday.
What did I say?
You said delay Halo Infinite.
I did.
Delay it.
I stick by it.
Okay, so we found out that this was in a video they posted up on YouTube, the developer update, that campaign co-op will not be available along with the Forge on release, and it's now part of their roadmap going forward, which works well because it is a Game Pass game and it's a free-to-play multiplayer game. As Click pointed out, that roadmaps are needed for that. It's certainly not good news. And MVG immediately on Twitter, delay Halo.
Well, I mean, I did preface it by saying it was a hot take, maybe. So here's the thing I've heard: a lot of people say, don't delay it because it doesn't affect me, right? Mm-hmm. But the problem I have with I know, I mean, and it's not just Sean. I've heard people say, I don't care about local co-op, but people are unhappy about the Forge. And then I've heard people that say, I don't care about the Forge, but I'm really pissed that local co-op's not going to be in the game. I think for me, ultimately, I would prefer if they just ship the entire package and they just delay the game until it's done. And they probably won't do that because of what we just talked about with Game Pass, right? Now that they do have Game Pass, they can, update this game in pieces, right? And people will still play the game. But I think for me, look, this is Halo, right? Halo started its life in 2001. Co-op is what Halo is all about.
Yep.
Right? Forge has been in Halo. Forge started, I think, in Halo 3.
Yep.
So, I mean, you have to have these pieces in the game when you launch. If you don't, I feel like it's gonna be like a Halo 5 thing where they did a similar thing with Halo 5. Remember, like there were some things at the beginning that didn't make the original game. And they added later. I just feel like they have to have those pieces in the game before they ship, and I think that they should delay it. And I don't know how long that would take. It could be. I said 10 weeks, right? And that's just a number. I don't know how long they need to finish it.
Are these?
I think they should finish the game before they give it.
They give us like a timetable for these two features. I think it was 3 months and then 6 months.
Yeah. Wow.
And those just rolling into their season. So like you might not see both of these together in the game potentially for up to 7 or 8 months because it's just going by the seasons, and they could release technically mid-season or it could just be an update for it. Right. So we don't actually know when they're coming out. We just know that they're not going to be there at launch. And you know what's really the sad part about this is there is going to be a Halo Infinite physical copy. Co-op will not be part of that. It will always be tied to an update that you have to download online for it. So many decades into the future or something, it's possible that there just will not be a way to play co-op campaign because they just didn't have enough time to get it done and put it on the disc.
So here's the thing.
Forge.
Go on.
No, go ahead. You're good. Go ahead, Sean. Let's hear it.
Here's the thing. I think what MVG is saying is correct. However, there is something you have to remember with Halo Infinite. This is not the Halo game. Like, it's not a Halo game like Halo 2 is. It's not a Halo game like Halo 3 is. They have come out and said that this is going to be an ongoing game for 10 plus years is the goal of this. So the goal, the seeds were already planted for this game to essentially come out in parts. So that's why I think it's not that big of a deal, because they've been saying it the whole time. And plus, I don't give a fuck about co-op. Just give me the online
campaign.
No, campaign schmampaign.
You're not even gonna play it.
Multiplayer. I've been playing Halo 2 like crack lately. Still got my skills in that game.
I never see you on.
Dude, I'm on it like all the time. I was on at 7 a.m. the other morning because I couldn't sleep.
Yeah, John,
I fell asleep with the controller in my hand and kind of like woke up.
Yeah, John, you never see him on because of his sleep schedule. Like, Jesus Christ.
But no, I mean, that's sort of the thing is like, it does suck, but I don't think the game should be delayed because this is always kind of how the game was going to be if you've been paying attention.
I don't think there's really, no decision is going to be looked upon favorably. If they came out and they said, we're delaying the game 3 months, people would have said, you already delayed the game a year. Why did you delay it 3 months? If the campaign is done and the multiplayer is finished, why didn't you launch this in November or for the holiday season? Then if they said, we're going to delay the campaign 3 months because we want to have online co-op available on day one and we're going to launch multiplayer this holiday, people would have got mad and said, why don't you delay the whole thing? So from an optics standpoint, what they decided to do was probably their best bet. They were still met with a lot of anger, but this was probably the best decision for them at the end of the day.
So here was the mistake. They said holiday instead of winter. Because if you say winter, you can be like, oh, it's coming out in February. It's coming out in March.
December to,
we're going to go ahead and launch the multiplayer beta that looks suspiciously like the full multiplayer. We're going to go ahead and do that in June. And we're just going to collect info and stuff leading up to the launch of the game, which we've basically just already launched the multiplayer. That's going to come out this winter. They made the mistake of saying holiday. So there you go. That's unfortunate. Yeah, they can't delay the game again. I mean, come on. It's been delayed a year.
Why not?
John, do a poll. Do a poll. I want to see.
Live poll.
No. Not. I want to see if people are going to buy the game or going to Game Pass the game.
Oh,
good idea.
Because all these people that are going to Game Pass the game, shut the fuck up. Because why?
I don't even poll that. I would poll the people of who's going to play the campaign at all, or are you just playing multiplayer? Because a large percentage of the players are probably multiplayer only, like you.
Do we want campaign and multiplayer? What do you want to
do? Do campaign and multiplayer. That's fine.
I don't care about multiplayer. I care about campaign, and I've always local co-opted the campaign. And for me, I'm kind of pissed off that it's not coming.
You wouldn't even play Gears of War.
Who are you going to play it with? Who are you playing with, MBG? What are these friends you have?
He has a family.
Yeah. I mean, like Halo for me, it was always the
okay, it's in. Are you going to play Halo Infinite campaign? Yes or no?
Yeah, click
no here.
Click. I think they should delay it. I mean, why wouldn't they delay the game? Like, Sony doesn't have anything else coming out this year. Why not?
True.
They have this window. They have an opportunity to really polish this game and get it out and say March next year. And Sony has nothing, right? So why wouldn't they take some extra time?
Because Sony has had stuff, within the past 5 fucking years, and Microsoft really hasn't. I mean, there's been little bloops and bleeps.
But to MVG's point, if Microsoft delayed this, they could potentially position Halo as a counter to Horizon Forbidden West in early 2022.
Yes.
They could, but you also have to think about this too. Do you know how many large streamers and personalities have expressed that they're going to be playing the multiplayer for promotion around holiday season?
I'm sure
Sea of Thieves exploded because of influencers on Twitch.
Yes, but the fact that you have some of the top streamers, not just on Twitch, but also on YouTube, talking about how they're going to put endless of hours into the multiplayer. And if you can get that done before the holiday season, no wonder why they're going to try to push it out. And also, I said this about a year ago. I know people who work in this specific project, and it was absolutely a mess. I don't want to say too much, but you had people working on things they shouldn't be working on. Like, the fact that it's even coming out in general, I'm sure they're just wanting to kind of get it done and then bring everything else after the fact. but like if they
let's face
don't
it,
take this holiday season to like get everybody, that's even the people who are just shopping for Christmas presents, like I think that they see the dollar signs in this holiday season that they wouldn't want to push it. If they delay it, I agree. I think delay it, have it a full package. But I think from like money standpoint, they know that multiplayer is going to drive a lot of traction, a lot of users, a lot of streamers. That like that directory is going to blow up, and there's going to be that's probably going to be at the top of Twitch for a while.
Yeah.
So, I mean, as soon as we can get that out.
What if they did this? What if they just delay it? They don't do a physical release of it. They delay the single player, and then you could play the online multiplayer this holiday season. And then when the campaign is done, then they release the physical version that none of you are gonna fucking buy because you're all gonna Game Pass the game, so it doesn't fucking matter.
I'm gonna send you a picture of my box copy of Halo Infinite.
Okay, like 10 people are gonna buy it. Like
I'm buying it.
10 people.
I'll buy it. I mean, I'm playing through the Master Chief collection here soon, so I'm gonna.
There's a lot of cap going on with this.
Are you not? Are you saying
you're the one wearing a hat? What are you talking about?
No, I'm saying like people like us, like collectors and stuff like that. Like, yeah, we'll probably buy it, but the vast majority of people, if you say, "Hey, you could buy this wristband for $60," or "I'll loan you this wristband for a year for free," do you think someone's gonna buy?
Is it the Virtual Fighter one?
It is.
Yeah.
But it doesn't.
Hold on.
Have
Hold on. What's the price we're talking about on that though?
Well, I'm saying
$60.
It's $60, or
that seems like a lot for a wristband, though.
I'll give it to you for free for a year plus, because Halo's never going to leave Game Pass.
Correct.
So I just don't get it. Like, I don't know.
Is it really that big of a difference if you buy the game physically for $60 in November, then the game's patched in 3 months anyways?
Because that disc isn't anything. You have to connect. Didn't somebody do a whole thing about Xbox's DRM mechanics on this cast? I mean, shit.
I mean, 69% of the people said that they're gonna be buying the campaign. They're gonna be playing it. Cap.
Cap.
I feel like people will play the campaign, Sean.
Weren't you saying Cap about was Metal Slugs or whatever?
Oh boy, we gotta get back into that again.
Oh yeah, Metal Slug when he wasn't.
First Metal Slug.
He dodged the episode
Metroid,
to defend
now Halo.
himself.
It wasn't here last week.
Because I thought it was only on PC.
You hated on the game
because it was only on PC.
No, we were just kidding about. We were joking about that. Really, is that why?
Very good reason.
That's insanity.
You have a PC that can play it.
I don't want to.
Oh my god!
You know
I saw you playing a Steam game on your stream the other day.
That was because I was securing a bag.
Yeah.
Captain Crunch over here.
But like, I mean, I do think that. Yeah, they are not going to delay this game. You're right. I think it is coming out. But I think it's disappointing, and I personally think they should hold back and release it later. But I also understand the reasons why they have to get it out this year. There's obviously a lot of reasons why they need to do that.
I mean, let's face it, the development for this game has been like disastrous at this point. They just need to get the game out there. Even if they're going to work on it as they go along, it just needs to hit retail shelves at this. I was thinking about it with the multiplayer and the campaign for this. The campaign probably has to be like the most ambitious Halo game just because it won't have a multiplayer attached to it. Because before it's like, oh, it's Halo, you go through set levels, it's linear with these open areas at times and some set pieces, but you always have the multiplayer to fall back on. And it's like, well, if you get 10 hours out of the campaign, look, you got hundreds of hours out of this multiplayer over here. Obviously, it's worth the money. But now it's like when you buy it, it's just the campaign. That's what you're buying essentially because the multiplayer is free. So, I mean, the campaign has to be like above and beyond what they've done before by a lot.
That part is kind of the situation where I can see that there is credence to the idea of delay the campaign until co-op is ready, because if the multiplayer is releasing as its own standalone free-to-play aspect, why can't you just launch that this holiday and hold the campaign until season 1's content is fully ready? If you want to treat them as two separate entities, then a delay isn't all that far-fetched.
Yeah. You know what? I will say this, Sean, when I play through the Halo campaign, I don't necessarily think I'd want to go back and just play all the way back through it just because co-op's been added for the campaign.
That's a really good point. Like, I feel like this game has one shot, right? And it's going to be, whenever it releases, it's going to have a window of about 4 weeks where it's going to be really crazy. And then after that, no one's going to remember Halo like Infinite after that. It's just going to be another game that's like, oh yeah, that game. And then when they multiplayer, well, hold on. And then when they drop the local co-op stuff, right? People are going to be like, oh, that's cool. I'm not going to go back and play local co-op now. I've already played the game. I've already beaten it. I don't care anymore.
I'm sorry, but once again, we're going to call cap on this. If a game is good to play and it has a good campaign mode, wouldn't you want to play it more than once?
I play it for the legendary difficulty too.
You never go back and replay campaigns of games. You never replay a single player game. Oh, I beat it once. Fuck this game. Done. Bye. Come on. It depends on the game.
I will say there are certain people that I know who are in this industry as journalists and content creators who are actually surprised to learn that the game did have a co-op mode at all because of the open world nature of the game. They had just assumed it would be single player only.
Where they been? This is Halo. We have co-op.
But it's going in a different direction. It's going in a different direction with the structure.
Great.
What does that matter?
So because it's more of that personal open world experience, they assumed that would just been a single player game. So they were actually shocked to learn that it was going to have co-op. And they're big Halo fans. They're big Halo fans. So.
I like how everyone tells me to play the Halo campaigns because they're so good. Oh, you need to play the first Halo campaign. You need to play it. It's so good, but you only want to play it once. It's so good. You only want to play it once.
No, I've actually played that a couple times because they did the remake of it. Remember? And I played back through it there on the 360. Before that, you played through Legendary mode. I've probably played through that campaign like 5 or 6 times.
You know what, Sean? I'm going to quote The Rock.
Go on.
Shut your mouth.
I thought to know your role.
Yeah, I thought it was an actual rock when you weren't saying anything. I was like, all right, that's cool.
You know what, Evan? Know your role and shut your mouth.
I'm the guy that can ban you out of the channel.
You know what, Sean?
To play the Halo campaign.
Sean, you do need to play through the Halo campaign. Just play.
No, I know, because it's only good enough to play through one time. That seems like a waste of my time.
Halo campaign, the original Halo campaign.
I want to play a campaign that's riveting and makes me want to replay it again.
That's Halo 1's campaign.
No, obviously it's not, because we're only going to play Halo Infinite's campaign once.
You played through Titanfall 2's campaign though, didn't you?
I didn't finish it. I got bored.
Oh my goodness.
I think the problem is Sean.
I was gonna say, hold on a minute.
I got bored.
You know, Sean, will you play the Halo Infinite campaign?
No. I have no desire. I have no clue what the story is. I have no clue what's going on in the story, and I personally just don't care. I don't care.
What campaign have you played through multiple times?
I mean, single player games.
Hold on. I just realized something. Hold on, Sean. Did you play through Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2's campaign?
No. No, wait. No. Or did I? I think I might have. I know I played the original Modern Warfare. I played through that campaign across different platforms, actually.
That was like one of the most infamous scenes in like first-person shooter history.
But that happens in the beginning.
I played.
Okay.
You know what campaign Sean is going to play?
What's that?
Balan Wonderworld.
Oh, stop it.
Yeah.
There we go. All right.
No, like games like Metal Gear Solid 3, I've beaten a bunch of times. Metal Gear Solid 2, Metal Gear Solid 4.
You can't compare Metal Gear to like.
She was asking me what single player games I've played.
Would
through
you play the campaign with us?
You can play co-op with that.
Can I drop like
the game's actually?
Can I drop a Streamlabs link when we're playing? Are we playing it live or something? I can drop a Streamlabs link.
We can play it on your channel. We'll play it on your second channel, Sean. Live channel.
Maybe.
I'll be honest. I don't agree with Sean's aggressiveness on this, but Halo's campaigns are ass, in my opinion. I don't think they're very good. I don't think they're very good. I just don't. I mean, I played Reach, beat that. ODST, people said that was amazing. There's no upgrades. I mean, you're just shooting 24/7. Like, there's nothing. There's no progression at all.
It's a shooter.
There's lots of shooters with progression. Lots of shooters
with story, though.
And this doesn't have any Master Chief. I mean, it's just.
You're just mad.
It's fun. If you have a buddy co-op, it's fun. I beat a lot of them. Those are by myself. With co-op, I beat almost every Halo.
If you could date your gun, would you like it?
If I could date my gun?
Yeah, if you could date your gun, would you like it better?
No, it's a gun. Why would I want to date it?
So it's still your weapon.
You date your sword.
It's like a Xenoblade thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, if a gun was called the Monado, would you play it?
Monado?
If that was the case, then sure. I date the guy. If that's inside the game, sure, but it's not. Didn't you guys want to date Cortana back in the day or something? That is she's like a thing.
Oh my god. What?
The only reason,
you know what? We're not even gonna have outros. Just end the show right now.
I hope.
the only reason I know who Cortana is or like what that name
Please
is.
don't say Windows. Please don't say Windows.
No.
Don't say Windows.
No, it's because of Dirt Nasty and Nick Swardson did a song for Halo 3. And at the end of it, Dirt Nasty said something about Cortana like blowing him. And I was like, oh, I wonder if that's because it's pretty much a song about multiplayer because that's the only yeah, dude, it's a classic. It's called
Co-op's cool though, man. It would have been dope if
it's called Halo 3 song.
Whatever. As long as we live in a world someday where Sean has played all the way through Balan Wonderworld and not played a Halo game, I'd be okay with that. Or Halo campaign, I'd be okay with that.
I mean, Sean doesn't even know the hype of getting the Warthog and having the music do and getting all hype, and the elites are coming out, and
that was
I don't
hype.
care. You know what was fun? When you would get on that level on Halo 2 that had the Wraith, and you would you could use the Wraith to super bounce out of the level, and so like me and my buddy would be playing it, and like yeah, online for not no stupid campaign, like playing competitively like men do. And so like you would have because we played on X-Link Kai, you could like set it up so that like people couldn't join the room until you were ready to. So we would super bounce out of the map, and then we'd have people join the room, and we'd have like all snipers and shit. We would just kill them. But like in order to do it, you would have to use the Wraith. So you know the Nirvana song, we changed it to Wraith Me, and so we'd be like Wraith Me, my friend, when we were like ready to get Wraiths to super bounce out of the level.
Oh my god.
Evan, hit the disconnect button.
I'm about to.
Just put the episode out of its misery.
God, you really posted that on Twitter, bro?
It's a good picture.
My man. Master Chief is crying right now.
What did you post on Twitter, Sean?
I'll put the link for you guys.
Okay. Oh man. We got Discord questions, Evan.
I hope to God we do.
Did the last 6 months to a year of development change the timeline of when current gen consoles will be replaced?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
would say so. Because everything's been pushed so far, they're probably going to extend the life just to make sure they get as much money as possible out of the software sales.
I guess since we have MVG on, last question. Why does Quake seem to have frame drop on the Nintendo Switch?
So there's a patch in the works. We've noticed some frame issues here and there, so they'll get addressed in a patch. As far as why, I mean, it's just one of those things that happens during development. You do a lot of testing, but sometimes you don't catch everything. So, but there is patches coming.
Okay, let's go to some of the super chats here. Nintendo Eric says, Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl looks great. Arceus also looks good, but I'm not sure about the battling. It seems like it could make catching harder due to accidental knockouts. Mimi says, in English they say Arceus officially. In Japanese they spell it and say it as Arceus. Very confusing. Wish they'd stick with one.
Wow. So I was right. People kept talking shit about me saying it as Arceus.
Hey, say it however you want. There's many Pokemon, Rayquaza, Rayquaza. People always say however they feel.
You say potato, I say potato.
Stadia is better, says OJ. Thoughts on Neo's low opening sales? Shame and Amazing Games getting overlooked. Deserves to be Game of the Year and OST of the Year contender for awareness.
Low opening sales where, in Japan, or because we don't have it? So I'm guessing he's just saying
it just
Japan.
says thoughts on Neo's low opening sales.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't really going to do as well. That's why Square Enix kind of like, they didn't really push it like it was like going to sell like 1 million like copies like soon, because it was in a pretty crowded month. There was Skyward Sword and there was Monster Hunter, 2 games that have far more brand awareness than Neo. So, and it came out at the very end of the month too. So, I mean, it'll pick up, but that's the type of game that it probably needs to be like a $29.99 or a $39.99, and for people to really kind of get it. So it's just the beginning. trust me, the other game that came out for the first one, the final remix, that had terrible, not very good. And then eventually, as it got some price drops before it got rare, it sold over 500,000. So eventually, Neo: The World Ends With You will sell probably 1 million, or it'll make its money back. But for right now, I wouldn't really worry about it too much. Just people want to play it. Once it gets price drops, more people will pick it up.
That's from Maniacs. Oh, go ahead, Sean.
Sounds like they should have done the sequel a little sooner.
Oh, yeah. Maniac says...
Wait, hold up. There was no way for them to do the sequel a little bit sooner. Like, this game, in terms of things, like, just to get the funding for it was insane, because there was no market for it. They didn't make... I mean, the DS game didn't do incredible or anything. So it's a very weird game. And then the guy who's the producer, he'd been working on Final Fantasy and other things. So, like, this is not the type of game to where they could have... They did the best they can with it, so...
Maniac says the final Smash DLC character will be Raiden from Metal Gear Solid.
I wouldn't hate it.
We're gonna find out eventually, pretty soon.
Solid
a couple
sword
months.
character.
We're gonna find out.
Definitely not. That's for sure.
Not Tate says, I'm surprised the cheaper Samsung 980 is easier to get than the West Digital Black. Are people just not aware, or did Cerny's tweet just give more awareness to West Digital? Probably a little bit of that, to be honest. Console Gamer says, Diamond and Pearl are for sure with the nostalgia. I usually don't go all out for games, but I pre-ordered both games, the double pack, and want to go for the Switch Lite. I really like them.
I'm excited for the Switch Lite, just because they made it the exact. Because I have the DS Lite that it models after.
Yeah, you like that? You like that callback to the DS Lite?
I like that they're both lights and they both have that same look. I think that's pretty.
You getting that one, Jordan?
Oh, absolutely. The second I can find a pre-order for it, it's done deal.
I meant to ask you about that. I forgot.
Jeffrey says, forget Stephen A and Skip. The people want First Take with RGT and OJ.
It'd be a good show.
You guys could run that show
on RGT's channel. I'm down.
You should.
Yeah,
that'd be good. Do it like on like Fridays or something, or just do it every day for an hour or something, like on that a day of the week. Necro says Switch is going to burn down houses when Arceus comes out. Marky says, can RGT shotgun one of my Melbourne bitter cans?
I had it here with me, sure.
Dark Dream says, also, I'll say I have a little nostalgia for Gen 4, yet I'm looking forward to it, and the series will regardless improve. It's been stuck mostly on a handheld system for years. That's changing. Agent says, which Mario has been your favorite? Odyssey is amazing, but something about 6 coins on Game Boy that just hits right with me.
Ooh, that's a good pick. 6 coins.
I mean, is it fair to do 2D and 3D Mario games in the same breath?
Probably not.
No.
Odyssey is really good though.
I mean, Odyssey and 64 are the best 3D ones in my opinion. Like Galaxy's up there as well, but I would put
right it is
64.
I put the Galaxy series over 64.
No, I mean 64 is one of those groundbreaking games of all time.
I think 64 has some more fun levels in general.
Agreed. And it just has more. It feels like a bigger game, which is weird because Galaxy's obviously in Galaxies, but I guess it's because of just the castle. You know, it's like this huge fucking castle.
It's the structure. It's playground Mario versus kind of guided experience Mario. So it is bigger in that sense.
And that comes down to preference. Some people enjoy, more guided stuff. But yes, 6 Golden Coins was actually the first game I got with my Game Boy. I got it packed in when I got a good report card. I got that. I got Alleyway and I got F1 Race.
Oh, nice.
I was for some reason expecting that like your friend in 2nd grade who had everything had the game, you stole it because he took your lollipop and milk at lunch and you like uppercutted him and stole it at recess.
No, but a kid in 4th grade named Brian who had a mullet and his dad looked like Hulk Hogan stabbed me in the leg with a pencil, and because like I kept kicking his chair and he kept telling me to stop and I was like piss off, and I still have the lead in my leg. Like it's still there. It's crazy.
See? I like how you remember their name.
I'll never forget.
You remember the kid whose dad stabbed you? Or kid?
No, the kid
looked like Hulk Hogan.
No, the dad looked like Hulk Hogan, and the kid's name was Brian. And I used to call him Peebo Bryson because he didn't like it.
What a bully.
22 says, I agree with Dreamcast guy. Mistborn would make one hell of a good game. Chris says, here, RGT no boss, but a man for a squash.
What?
There you go. I read it exactly as it's written.
Squash.
Sure. It sounds good.
Go. Oh, the man for a squash. No boss.
Oh.
The man for a squash.
Oh, he's talking about wrestling.
That sounds like wrestling in code. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tijo says, speaking of Tales of Arise, what are your impressions on the demo? Am I the only one who feels that the graphics mode on PS5 could run at a higher FPS?
Well, if you're playing on the performance mode, it runs at 60. If you're playing on the 4K graphics mode, yeah, it's lower than the Xbox Series, but the game in general is phenomenal. Absolutely amazing. Like, I cannot wait to play Tales of Arise. I think they did an amazing job of making it feel like Tales, but then also innovating within the series. That game's going to be super fun.
Aaron says Among Us mode in Fortnite might get me to play Fortnite. There we go.
That's fun.
Rascal says still waiting on MVG's remake of Ski Sniper and Game Builder Garage. Also, do you think the Rivals mode coming to Tsushima Legends is PvP duels?
Ski Sniper's coming.
Might be. Okay, there we go. See, heard it here first.
Oh dear.
Night Dive Studio exclusive.
Controller says, what are your thoughts on Soulja Boy and Atari stuff?
I think Hassan has a better future in video games than Soulja Boy.
What happened here? Because he said he owned Atari, and then all of a sudden Atari was like, no, he doesn't.
And then he got mad that they called him out. I mean, it's just a cry for attention, much like Hassan. Honestly, Soulja Boy and Hassan should work together. They're perfect.
You know what? I was thinking that if Soulja Boy is really that invested in the gaming industry, there is a company out there who's looking for new investors.
Wow. Stop.
I mean, they did just start a new round of funding.
Exactly. They're looking for new investors who believe in their product, and Soulja Boy wants to make a name for himself in the industry, and I think they would welcome him on the board, and they could even collaborate with a concert.
Nate, be careful. They'll come for you.
That's okay.
I can't believe we're still talking about someone who's been irrelevant since like the early 2000s. Like, what does this matter?
I didn't even like that song. Like, I've never been a fan. Like, Laffy Taffy was a pretty decent song, but like the whole song's based around a dance.
Yeah.
I can't fucking stand. Like, where's the bars, man? Tell me a story. Tell me something. Like, no.
But he
Superman that hoe. Like, come on.
Hey, I mean, maybe the cousin of Aerosmith can help him out there.
Oh my god.
He's still relevant because unlike a lot of other rappers at his time, that he actually made good investments and still makes good money on his investments.
Well, and he did very well. He did very well on social media. He's kind of like, how Matt Cardona was for wrestling, who pretty much made was doing, vlogs and stuff like that before anyone else was. And that's why he's maintained his relevancy and whatnot.
It's been the most sports podcast ever.
I would not have known.
Ethanol says, just want to say thanks to MVG and the rest of Night Dive for the awesome Quake remaster. Having tons of fun so far and can't wait to see what's next. Dingus says, wrestling is fake, basketball sucks, and cats rule.
Stop it.
Brian says, MVG, apparently the Switch isn't powerful enough to run the GTA Trilogy remaster. Thoughts? Ask OJ about this one.
What? Am I missing something here?
Yeah, well, we had a stream and one guy came in and was like, he said, unfortunately, the Switch won't be able to run the rumored GTA remasters because the Switch is, less powerful than the PS3. So then I asked him, well, how does it run PS3 and PS4 games? And then he never came back that day.
Well,
I mean, the fact that you can run that trilogy on the PlayStation 2 is, I'm pretty sure the Switch will handle it, no problem.
It's going to run Shin Megami Tensei 5. So
it'll PS2 game, yes.
Yeah,
a PS2 game, yeah. So that it's just a joke type of deal.
This is from Jason saying, I'm looking forward to playing. Sorry, the rest of the super chat will be in season 4 DLC. Well, we'll find out next year. Jeff Grubb says, WarioWare, okay, above or equal to 3 million copies. Also, all those big Game Pass deals happened really close to launch. 0 hour, I guess, for that. WarioWare above or it comes down to, I guess, do people recognize Wario as that kind of a character where like how Mario is on store shelves and people just buy it because it's Mario?
Is there online multiplayer?
No online.
Wario.
Then I don't
need to see series sales.
Yeah, I don't know how well has it sold.
What about the one on the GameCube?
I think it'll do well.
All right, Sean, let's make the bet.
Oh God.
Who's played the demo for Wario? Real quick.
I did.
I played it. I thought it was fantastic.
I love it.
WarioWare games are great.
The thing of it is like I never really liked the console ones because I always felt like I don't know. I just enjoyed them more on the handhelds, but like I just had a stupid grin on my face like the whole time I was playing it. And I was like highlighting it in my video. I was like,
The best-selling WarioWare is 2.47 million.
It's gonna get it, man.
Is this it? Is this how we get Sean to play through Halo 1 campaign?
Start the bet.
He loses and experiences greatness. Wow, what a shame. Okay.
What do I get if I win, though?
You get to play through the Halo 2 campaign.
I don't know. No. Give me like $5 or something. I'll do it.
Zevia bucks, honey and Zevia bucks. Let's go.
Right.
Wait, so Sean, you never played WarioWare with like a group of people, like doing all the mini games
You
and
think
stuff?
Sean has close range friends?
Yeah. I mean, me and my boy used to play a lot of games, but like we never played. I mean, what was the one on the DS though? Because the DS had the infra, you could just like I could sit on the couch and he could sit on like a chair. Yeah, and it's like I'm pretty sure we played that one.
This from Joshua saying, anyone in cast ever play the PlayStation 1 game Sayuki Journey West? It's Black Myth Tactics. It's very good and available on Vita. I've not played that.
Never even heard of it.
Jack Green says Spawnwave looks like Al from Toy Story 2.
Do you know? Because I was unfamiliar with the character Al. I went to type in what did I do? Al Toy Story 2. When you go to Google, type in Al space toy space story space 2 and look at the third thing that pops up.
Is it me?
It says Al's Toy Story 2 Spawnwave.
That is me.
Oh my god.
It is me.
I kind of agree, but then I don't because this dude's fat. So I mean, like John ain't fat. So like, nah.
He does look like me though.
He's got
he does look like me though.
No, he doesn't.
Maybe like you, like
No, he doesn't.
back in like the Devon Dudley, Bubba Ray Dudley days. Yeah, maybe back then when we were the Dudley boys, but not anymore. Not anymore. No, I ain't gonna get Maybe like in 30 years, John. I don't know.
There you go. Go out of like Halloween with the chicken costume on. There you go. Marky says, "Did I tell you I'm on the Melbourne bitter cans? They're on the cans apparently."
Cool.
It's from Marky Muck. Pyro says, "Used Game Pass to test Quake out and then bought it." There you go. Marky says, "I just ate a cheese. I don't know. It says Crancy. Go NVIDIA and Switch." There you go. Then asked, "Does it run Crysis?" Yep, the Switch sure does. Alf says, "MVG, you're awesome. Keep it up." Rascal says, "Have any of you tried Tribes of Midgar? It's epic." I've not.
I know what he's talking about. Though.
Ron
It's
says,
like a survival game.
shout out to RGT, Spawn, MVG, and Player Essence join the channels. RGT, my Hawks will beat your Knicks Christmas, and congrats for the house, buddy.
No, sir, because the new NBA rule changes are going to severely limit Trey's game, so he's going to have to adapt, and I'm very interested to see how he's able to adapt.
Zombie says, "So glad I'm watching the Spawncast instead of SummerSlam. RGT saying what's going on seems more entertaining than the actual show." Live commentary on
pretty good.
Live commentary on Sean's channel. There you go, on his second channel. You should do that. You should just live stream yourself like watching it, and then people can like do a watch along with it.
Yeah, people do that all the time. Yeah, it's actually like a lucrative thing.
What the hell's going on with Woods' hair?
He's like a greaser, I guess.
Kylan says, "We need a remaster of Dragon Ball Z games from the GBA, triple pack legacy of Goku 1, 2, and Boo's Fury, and put it on the Switch. That would be awesome. So it'll never happen."
There's a better one, man. All we need is Attack of the Saints. That's better.
That
than
was
all
a good
those
game.
games.
That was
better than all of them. That's a Monolith Soft developed Dragon Ball Z game, by the way, guys.
Oh, that's why you like it.
Yeah,
no, it was a really good game. I played all the way through it. I remember originally I couldn't find it, so I was like trying to pick it up from one of my friends. I ended up renting it and beating it in a weekend. It is very good.
I'm telling you, it's dope.
Yep,
it's really good.
Then we have Jonathan saying 343 messed up Master Chief Collection's launch, messed up Halo 4's campaign, messed up Halo 5's campaign. They just might screw up Infinite, and if so, Microsoft needs to drop 343 because this thing is causing Xbox Microsoft to look bad. Wishbone says MVG could easily remake Beetle Adventure Racing like split second. Oh,
yeah, but Beetle is a
Beetle Adventure Racing was awesome though.
But it's trademarked, isn't it? Isn't it Volkswagen Beetle?
Yeah, it is.
Let's get them involved.
Do they even make Beetles anymore?
I don't think so. I haven't seen any.
I think they stopped a few years ago.
Yeah.
It looks like 2019 was the last one.
Gary says, "I'm definitely picking up multiple copies of Pokemon Legends. I'm not sold on the Diamond and Pearl remakes. They look bad, especially the character designs. They look like chibi mobile characters. I know they can do better."
Not wrong.
There you go. Jake says, just say Halo is doing the Nintendo approach.
Damn.
I mean, once again, not wrong.
I mean, look at Mario Golf.
Fuck that. That pissed me off. And the crazy thing was, is that course, New Donk City, it's so it feels like a Mario course should. It's not just standard ass piddly golf with like, oh look, there might be a little caterpillar crawling across. He could mess you up. It's like, no, there's like, skyscrapers and hit it down alleyways and stuff. Like, it actually feels like an arcade golf game should feel. It feels completely different. Sorry, go on.
JT Blue says, thoughts on the Game Informer article on saying that Metroid should take inspiration from indie developers?
Need a little more context.
Did it?
Yeah, I didn't read the article.
Yeah, I don't know what that article is talking about.
Plus, I mean, indie developers kind of took inspiration from Metroid. So there's so many Metroidvanias
on each other. I mean, I don't think there's any shame in seeing good ideas that get added upon your good idea. Like you're just borrowing
Metroid imposter mode.
They haven't played Metroid. Like, nobody's played it yet. Not even in the press. So how do they know what ideas are in the game?
Exactly. That's
a
jumping the gun.
That's a clickbaity article, to be honest, because the game's not out. If you play the game and it comes out, then you make that article. Cool, but the game, we don't know what ideas they're putting in there yet. So it's silly.
Unless they interviewed someone from the company,
but they didn't.
Oh, okay.
CW says release this year, then release the battle royale next year. I want to see what happens if they do a battle royale with Halo. That would be interesting reaction, I'll say. Christopher said Skyward Sword has playable options and a lot of quality of life improvements that made the game better. Do you think Metroid Prime Trilogy will be like that?
Doesn't exist.
You stop that.
Not wrong.
Ethan.
I don't disagree with that.
I don't disagree either.
David says, wasn't Gears Tactics only on PC at first? It was, and then it launched on Xbox months later. Bron says, will Miss Click be streaming Halo Master Chief Collection multiplayer? You're just playing through the campaigns, right?
Yeah, we're not doing the multiplayer. To be honest, I don't have too much interest in the multiplayer. I'm more interested in the campaign side of things.
Sean, do you see this?
See?
What happened? I'm just starting to fall asleep. What?
No.
Wow. Okay.
Miss Click is like, she's about the campaign, no interest in the multiplayer for Halo.
Ew. What is wrong with you? You're gonna stream the campaign for 5 or 6 hours and then just be like, all right, thanks for all the views, Twitchers, but I'm not playing the multiplayer now. They're gonna want you to play that multiplayer.
Yeah, but if it comes down to me having to play with controller or something because the aim assist, I'm not interested.
Hondo says, if Halo is delayed, it will take it out of the Battlefield Call of Duty window. That may be a plus.
That's true. It could be positive, but
I don't think it matters though, because it's a Game Pass. Yeah, it's Game Pass.
I think holiday season in general, though. I don't really want to miss it.
It's free to play anyway. The multiplayer is not even in Game Pass, and it's not even like behind Xbox Live Gold anymore. It's just free to play. So Matthew says, if you could pick between two game series to have a crossover game between them, which would you pick, and what would be the genre? What would the genre be? Two game series that have a crossover. That's actually a good one.
I still think it'd be cool for like Halo and Metroid.
Can I say Castlevania and Metroid?
Oh, man. That'd be kind of cool.
Mario Warriors.
Mario Warriors.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Xenoblade Warriors would be cool.
Xeno Warriors, Mario Warriors.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Madden 22 and Final Fantasy.
Ew, what?
All right.
And it would just be a 2D platformer.
You lower the quality of Final Fantasy dramatically.
Or raising Madden to at least an acceptable status.
That's true. That's maybe.
I was thinking Yoshi's Island and Skate.
See?
How about Fire Emblem and Shin Megami Tensei? How about you guys want to try that out? Anybody?
Yeah, I'll take that gamble.
Okay.
I'm willing to try it.
Yeah.
Listen, as long as it doesn't have pop singers for some obscure reason.
Oh, this is from Yum saying, I want a physical copy of Quake on the Switch.
It's
Limited Run's doing it.
Limited Run's doing it.
There you go. You can pick it up right there. Zen says, how do I audition to be on the podcast? You got to play all the Halo campaigns. Okay, we got to fill in for Sean.
What the hell is Sean doing here?
We got to fill in for Sean.
I'm so glad I didn't have to go through that because I have to play through those campaigns. I would be like, all right, I like you guys, but I'm out.
It's too much fun for one person to handle right now. Yeah. Andrew says, MVG say I can't say if you're not working on Quake 3 Arena.
I cannot confirm or deny that.
That would be Quake 3 Arena comes out and it's on all consoles with crossplay. Oh, that might be what we're playing for like a week, Sean.
No, Quake 3. Play that shit on the Dreamcast.
Oh god. What? Now?
What? No, I'm saying that's what I played it on back in the day.
Oh, yeah. I mean, but like if they put it on all consoles now, like how we have Quake, but they dropped it there with crossplay and all that.
Oh yeah, that'd be dope.
That'd be pretty good.
Fucking Henri.
Aaron says Spawnwave looks like the NBC executive Russell Darliample, played by Bob Balaban on Seinfeld. This is very descriptive.
Obscure reference.
Yes. Marky Muck says, "Is OJ here?"
How much?
This one was $2, but they have also had like 6 messages on here already.
Of how much money?
I guess it comes out to like 10 altogether. At least 10, yeah. Cyber Knight says, "Hey everyone, stay safe during Hurricane Henry."
Hurricane's over here. Wait, where's the hurricane at?
It's about
It's
150 miles
straight
south
for
of
Nate.
Rhode
It's
Like how everyone talked at once and no one understood what everyone said right there.
it's shifting away from me and going more towards Nate.
Yeah, it's making a
Weird.
beeline for me.
Weird. I thought Florida gets hurricanes.
We haven't had a hurricane in 30 years. Our last one was
So
Hurricane
weird.
Bob in 1991.
Didn't you just get a tropical storm too, though? Didn't you just
Hurricane
get
Bob
No.
Wolf.
And really,
we had impacts from Elsa in July.
Hurricane Wolf Den.
The worst thing that hurricane will do on the way up is say Mario wrong.
and really,
Mario.
it's only a category 1 on me.
Never say Mario like that
It
again.
was so funny.
Every time I hear Mario said that way,
What, Mario?
Mario.
Oh, I get like goosebumps because
Yeah,
it's
I
like,
hate it.
It's so wet in my soul.
Mario.
Oh, God, that's disgusting.
Oh my god, John, come on. Man.
Dr. Claw
Destroys my
says,
soul.
You want to play some Mario Kart?
I will kill you.
Dr. Claw says, "I'm cautiously hoping that Arceus can be for Pokemon what Skyward Sword is for Zelda." There we go, Clint.
Yeah, big ask.
Stud Muffin says, "Stoked for too many games. I hope for a surprise appearance by Nate. Either way, will be nice to see the Spawncast live."
Whether I'm there or not, you'll never know.
There we go. There we go. Shinru says, "Evening, everyone. John, your tweet the other, it got me thinking about this question. If you had to throw hands with a Pokemon, who are you fighting? I can fight a Lucario. So long as it doesn't backhand me, I'm good."
No, you can't. Who said that? No, Lucario would whoop.
I don't know. Which
Yeah.
Pokemon would you fight if you had a chance?
Magikarp.
Caterpie.
Yeah, like a Caterpie. Like
Magikarp. Just grab it by the tail and just float
Yeah,
it about.
like
no, how about this? The
Magikarp.
I'll turn
Pokemon
to a
just
Gyarados then.
no, the Pokemon just lets
It's getting no
just
XP
take,
off of me.
but the Pokemon lets you just take one swing at it, like no consequences. You're just allowed to swing on one Pokemon. Which one is it? Which Pokemon are you always wanted to take a swing on there, Jordan?
Can I just
Squirtle.
straight punt a Pichu somewhere?
I don't know. That's a good question. I
Yeah,
never really
see?
thought about which Pokemon I'm
Which
really
Pokemon do you want to commit an act of violence on?
Caterpie.
Animal
Every time I caught one in Pokemon Go,
That's
I
so
wanted
cute. That's so sad.
Caterpie.
Animal abuse over here. You guys are mean.
I would want to kick
Pokemon.
I'd kick a Bidoof.
A Pokemon is not an animal; it's a Pokemon.
It's an animal. They eat them.
It's a type of animal.
It's a monster.
Yeah, it's a monster. Pocket monster, OJ. Pokemon.
It's a type of animal.
They have them living in their houses. They do chores. It's an
I
animal.
do like. I
They're
feel like Sean,
indentured
has-
servants.
Sean, you went to Squirtle immediately.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like Squirtle. Like, shut up, bitch.
Not how Squirtle sounds.
In the cartoon, it was.
Doesn't sound like that. What's that?
It's more like,
Squirtle.
no, no, you're making it way more annoying. Like,
That's how I remember it.
you
How high
misremember.
were you?
Why do you sound like a car alarm?
Squirtle.
That's not how
Yo, someone needs to come. Your bug is outside. It's going off.
This is from Justin saying, "Hype for Banana Mania. Hope they add 8-player local wireless or online multiplayer in a future entry. Imagine the whole Spawncast playing Monkey Target together. Also, Nintendo should take the double dash route for Mario Kart 9. That way, 8 and 9 can coexist."
Yes.
Monkey Target online would be sick.
Yeah. Let's go around, do some outros while I finish up with these messages here. Let's go to Sean. RGT, where can everyone find you?
Find me on RGT85, possibly wearing my Sonic the Hedgehog ice. The hurricane is now moving north towards Nate, so I'm happy. I do have a video scheduled for tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern, just in case I didn't have power, so that way it would already be done. As far as what's coming up this week, I don't really know. I do have a review coming out for No More Heroes 3. That'll be out towards the end of the week, I believe. Yeah, it'll be towards the end of the week. I'll have that out. And yeah. Also, Road 96, a bunch of people are asking about that game in the chat. Very enjoyable game. It looks like a Life is Strange style graphical thing. And I was kind of worried that the story would, be more towards like that sort of storytelling. But so far, like all the different paths I've taken, they've all been very interesting stories, more relatable stories than I feel what people think are relatable stories, but they're really only relatable on Twitter, if that makes any sense.
Okay. Justin says, I'm ready for the ultimate Spawncast cook-off. It can be a mix of Master Chef and Hell's Kitchen with the cast split into 2 teams and 3 guest judges determining the winner. I vote to have Arlo or Mr. Waz on as one of the guest judges. Who would like on your team?
I'm on John's team because this man can cook up some great stuff.
You haven't seen my grilling yet.
Oh, yeah, I'm going.
Fuck all of you. You're all on John's team. I'm on MVG's team.
Who else can grill? Can
jump
grill?
on my team.
I grill all the time.
You know what? MVG knows what linguiça is.
Yeah, no, MVG's gonna rock it.
What about Jordan? Can you cook, Jordan?
Yeah, I've been known to cook a couple things here and there.
Okay, we got Jordan coming. Okay, yeah, we'll kick you guys' butts. Me, Jordan, John. Who else?
We'll just grill up a linguiça, Frank, and we win.
I don't even know what that is. So you probably lose right away. No one would know what that is. I would just make pizza and they'd be like, oh, pizza.
No.
Then they'd eat it and they'd be like, is this pizza? And then they just kind of move on.
I'm very happy you guys didn't make misogynistic jokes.
Steaks were made.
Steaks were made.
Exactly.
That's our team name.
Jokes? We all
Our team name is Steaks Were Made. We're up by a point.
Well, I don't.
I'm in the
cooking.
kitchen.
Steaks were made.
And
Click, where can everyone find you?
In the kitchen.
God damn! I was gonna make it.
I beat you to it. I beat you to it. You bitch! I knew exactly you were going for it.
You made the joke. Click. See, look at that. You made the joke.
I knew someone was gonna go for it.
I wanted to, but I was pulling back. I was like, I can't say that.
No, I heard you stutter it. I heard you stutter it. Yeah, no, you can find me in my off time on the internet. You can find me here on YouTube as Miss Click Gaming, or I am live on Twitch almost every day. We're gonna be not finishing. We're gonna be continuing Mass Effect 3. Been thoroughly enjoying my playthrough so far. Realizing how much DLC is actually in that game that should have been main story to go out with launch. So I'm glad I'm finally playing it now. But other than that, you can find me on Instagram or on Twitter as just Miss Click. Yeah.
Okay, this is from Shinru saying, don't give me flack, but what makes Quake so good? It looks very similar to Doom and Wolfenstein. Please tell me, MVG and everyone.
Precursor.
The big deal about Quake back in the day was that it was the first person shooter to have 3D character models as opposed to the flat 2D sprites.
Yep.
Yeah, and I mean, it defined kind of the arena shooter for multiplayer, which, hasn't really been that popular in recent times. But I feel like, and I'm not saying this because I made the game or anything, but I feel like it is having a bit of a resurgence. The arena shooter genre is kind of coming back a little bit. So I think you should check it out if you haven't, and give it a go and see if you like it. I mean, some people don't like it.
Yeah. It's a fun arcade shooter, Not everything has to be super complicated. So they're just like you pick up the guns, you don't reload, you just blow over there.
My buddies used to go to LAN parties for that, try to maximize FPS and just rip people apart. It was great.
It's a great time. And Shinru says this is for RGT, so I guess we're not getting that OnlyFans sad face.
No.
Jane says, "Hey, I love the show. My question for everyone. What's your most favorite and least favorite part of your job as a content creator?"
Editing. Listening to myself.
Listening to yourself.
Editing is just
editing.
The best part would be the freedom.
Freedom. Yeah. Yes. No boss. No real boss. Like you got a boss, but not like YouTube. They're like eh.
Yeah.
YouTube's your boss, but they're like the weird boss. That's like whatever,
Juice Man Vaughn says, is there value for collecting Xbox right now? And if so, what's some notable items that's worth money right now?
OG Xbox? I would say yes, because it's really cheap right now. So I would jump all over it if you can.
Orta, Panzer Dragoon Order's already like doubled in price.
That's going up too.
Yeah, 3 copies of that.
Yeah, I would actually start picking up Xbox games now because they're on the cheaper side. Just with what we've seen with the PS2, the PS1, and some of these other systems, I could see the original Xbox actually jumping up in prices going.
Then get them water graded. Yeah.
I feel like Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2X actually moved up a bit in price too.
Yep. Because that's the unique to Xbox, right? Or the exclusive one, right?
And there's some, I mean, there's some import game. Metal Wolf Chaos, I think, was still has always been expensive.
There's a few obscure Japanese only Xbox titles that are big dollar games. Like Soveria is another one, I think, and there's a couple of others out there that are quite pricey.
Let me tell you, Juice Man Vaughn, one of the best reasons to get an original Xbox is to modify it, soft mod it, because it is still it's an incredible system when it's soft modded. So, and it's not too hard to do. There's a lot of guides online. It's pretty straightforward. So, and then Shinru says, I asked OJ this: Mario Football or Mario Basketball? Hoops 3-on-3 remake. When MVG?
Why is this man obsessed with Mario Football, Shinru?
Reach out, Nintendo.
Gracious, Brad. How many times are you gonna? Never mind, Shinru. Shout out to my boy Shinru.
It'll let know they can find you as well, OJ.
Not at Mario Football. Yeah, you can find me. Player Essence right here on YouTube. Got a cool video going out tomorrow on Pokemon and some Nintendo Switch stuff, so check that out. That'll be up in the morning/afternoon, depending on where you live. Got some cool live streams that I'm doing for this week as well. We're going to go through more of the Tales of Arise demo and also some other RPG goodness for you guys. Got No More Heroes content coming up. Going to show you guys a little bit of that game on Monday, and then, of course, I'll have my review and all that next week as well. So thank you to all the support. Shout outs to everybody from the Spawncast. All of you guys, people always come over and say, hey, I came over from this person, whatever. So I appreciate all of you guys, value your friendship and all that. So thank you guys so much for having me on.
Log says, John, is your background a green screen or lights? Enjoying Death's Door on Steam, by the way. Good. These are lights. Let's turn on and off. Let me go to MVG. Where can everyone find you?
Thanks for having me on. You can find me on Twitter at Modern Vintage G and YouTube Modern Vintage Gamer. Just want to say, really appreciate the love on the channel in recent times. Views have been up, subs have been up. I don't know what it is, but thank you, to everyone who's been checking out the channel. And yeah,
almost like the videos are good. Maybe that.
It goes up and down. Sometimes you don't do it like the views aren't there, and sometimes they just jump up, and you don't really know why. You just got to roll with it.
YouTube ebb and flow, man.
Yep.
Yeah. It's weird. Even as simple as it's summertime get affected. So
yeah, true.
Yeah. Asher says, finish setting up Retro Arch on my Series S, and I'm pumped. Time to accidentally run from another shiny tentacle. What game would you like to see remastered? I would love a Last Story remaster.
Ooh,
Metal Gear Solid 3.
Metal Gear Solid 1. I would say Metal Gear Solid 1. Just a full new remake.
You got it. You got Twin Snakes.
Yeah, but I feel like now they could do some really cool stuff with the first Metal Gear Solid.
Doesn't it have progressive scan too?
I mean, but like overall with the controls, the newer technology we have now, I think they can make that game look really cool. And then it can lead into 2 and then eventually 3, Sean.
Okay.
There we go. And then 4. Oh man, maybe 4, because 4 is just on the PS3.
Yeah.
It's stuck.
Really is.
I don't know. Whatever system it's got to go to, so click and play the first Metal Gear Solid.
We were literally just talking about that today. I want to play the first one.
You need to. It is very good.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, Sean,
Anthony,
look.
Oh, what am I looking at? Yeah. I no wonder my eyes are watering.
Oh my God, what a baby.
Anthony says we need to bring up Metal Slug Tactics with RGT.
Why?
Because the flip.
Why?
I mean, it's a I was wrong video. I mean, it's
No, I won't even do that because by the time it comes out, you'll all forget. Maybe.
True.
Maybe no, they won't. They won't forget.
I'll say something else stupid that people will start talking
about. Miguel says, "I love the Sonic Ice RGT."
Thank you.
Yeah. And then we have Cyber Knight saying, "New bet: RGT plays Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl with Squirrel as a starter."
No, God, I don't want to.
Rodrigo says, I just want to congratulate MVG. I've been playing Quake since Thursday. Tremendous job. Hope Turok 3 Remastered could be considered next.
Maybe.
Total Warrior says, why did Master Chief cross the road? Find out in 6 months as the punchline isn't finished yet. Halo 5's launch again. Players won't wait, plus we'll leave. And then we have Jordan. Where can everyone find you?
You can find me over Jordan Fringe. Bunch of content coming up, planning for a bunch of cool stuff throughout the rest of the year. So go ahead and check it out if you're interested.
Zaire Miller says, has anyone played 12 minutes? Personally, I like it. We talked about that earlier. I will check that out this week, though. How long is the game, Sean?
Well, it's an infinite, well, not an infinite loop, but it's a time loop thing. So you play it, and then an event happens, and then you start back from the beginning, and you got to try to figure out what you could do to avoid that event from happening. And then there's a story that goes along with it.
I was watching some streamers play it, and I think they were like 5 hours in. They were still trying to clear story.
Wow. 5 hours?
Yeah, I've seen it can take around 8 hours, and depending how quick you're able to pick up on the puzzle cues and everything.
Aaron Davis says, bracing for Henri up here in the Northeast. Please stay safe, everyone. Then J-Dude says, hey guys, what are your thoughts on the Metroid series? And what are your favorite games in the series?
I hate all Metroid games.
I knew Sean was going to say something. That's what I was going to say something about it. I still like the first Metroid Prime just because of how much of an effect that had at the time on the GameCube.
Mm-hmm. Super Metroid is still, to me, a perfect game and still one of the best games ever made. I don't see anything wrong outside of the wall jumping, but even that you can get past. But the game
OJ spitting facts. I agree.
Yeah, it's really good.
Aaron Davis said, thank you for your work on Quake. I am really enjoying it on the Switch. There you go. Nate, where can everyone find you?
You can find me on YouTube at Nate the Hate or on Twitter at Nate the Hate, followed by the number 2. We do have a topic already planned for next week. It's just a matter of recording it, and that will depend on the impacts of Hurricane Henri in the region. If I don't lose power, then the episode will be next week. Right now, they are projecting that there is a high probability that this region will lose power, and unfortunately, we could be without power up to 10 days if that happens. So hopefully that is not the outcome. And as long as I don't lose power, there'll be a new episode this week talking about something that may or may not be happening in the near future and why it may or may not be happening.
Okay, thank you for that very descriptive summary of your next episode. Okay.
Yes, it may or may not happen, and we explain why.
Is it about Sony?
No.
Oh,
maybe.
What about Sony?
They got something coming up, don't they, Nate? I saw you on Twitter.
Yeah, they have a state of play in September.
Okay, there you go. Trent says, I was talking crap about COD Zombies in my head today. Then I played one match and fell in love. What's wrong with me? That's Evan. Where can everyone find you? Let them know.
You can find me on Twitter whenever I go streaming or if I'm doing anything. I think I posted up some of the stuff I've been doing recently. I don't know. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
Got some of these done because I got a lot of projects I got to get finished. So you can follow me on Twitter at Kimmerix Project. See what's happening.
Okay. And then Nick says, what game is Miss Click looking forward to before the end of the year? They say parentheses non-Nintendo.
I mean, I want to be excited for Halo if it's coming out, and then Horizon, but I think that's getting delayed. So I don't know. I really don't know what's coming out this year. This is a very quiet year in my opinion. So it's been nice to catch up on. I'm glad I haven't had too many new things to play because I'm really enjoying Mass Effect.
Ghost of Tsushima DLC.
Yeah, but also at the same time, I'm still kind of on the fence of if I want to pay right now to play it.
I do like one part about it, which has to do with more of the character, Jin, and some of the backstory.
Go more in depth.
I didn't expect it to be that right off the bat. How deep you get into that?
How big serious. Of a DLC is it?
It's a decent map. But apparently, according to Max, it took him 3 hours for the initial campaign. But there's a big island to explore. So,
but it's only 3 hours.
Max beats everything quick, though. You got to remember that. Max, he's very good at games, so he beats things way faster than most.
In a short period of time, me and Max are almost on the new Aliens game.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess DLC I could be excited for that, but as far as a new game, I don't really know what's getting delayed and what's not, so I can't really say.
Cool. All right, that's gonna do it here for Spawncast. Thanks everyone for joining us. Thanks Honey for sponsoring today's podcast as well. Make sure you check them out in the link in the description below, and we'll see you guys next Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time.
Question.